Good evening and welcome to the December 4th, 2025 meeting of the Town of Southampton Board of Appeals. This meeting is being held live and also via video conferencing on the town's website. For those of you online who wish to view tonight's live meeting only and not participate, please do not join the Zoom meeting. If you're having difficulties accessing the hearing in either case, visit the town clerk's meeting portal and click on the instructions link. With that, I'd ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United
States
States
of
of America
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you're here with us tonight, please silence your cell phones and refrain from speaking to one another as it interferes with the recording of our proceedings. In case of an emergency evacuation, please exit through the rear doors of this room to one of the staircases across the hall and continue downstairs and out through the main entrance. Do not attempt to use the elevators during the emergency evacuation. In case of a medical emergency, the automated external defibrillator and first aid kit are both located in the hallway on this floor, opposite the elevator. Restrooms are located across the hall from this room. Tonight, board member Helen Burgess is participating via Zoom. A reminder that applicants, agents, and members of the public speaking other than attorneys will be sworn in, state their name and address for the record, and will offer their testimony as it relates to the application before the board. In order to consider properly every application before us tonight, individuals commenting on a particular application have a time limit of 3 minutes. I want to emphasize that we welcome comments but must adhere to a time limit in order to accommodate all interested in speaking on any application this evening. Written comments on any application are also welcome. Please address these comments to the members of the board and send via email, mail, and/or dropped off at Town Hall to the board secretary, Candace Cowell, in the building department. At this time, I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of our November 20th, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia. Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, John, would you take us through the agenda, please?
Okay, number one on the agenda, EJST LLC, 292 Little Fresh Pond Road, North Sea, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-97-3-7. The hearing on this application will be re-advertised for December 18th. Turning to number 11 on the agenda, application of 94 Dune Road Holding Corp., 94 Dune Road, East Quogue, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-385-1-37.3. I move to adjourn the hearing on this application to April 2nd.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia. Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
The decision on the application of 162 Jobs Lane LLC, 321 Rose Hill Road, Water Mill, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-115-3-14.3. The decision on this application will be adjourned to December 18th. Or, I move to adjourn the decision on this application to December 18th, sorry.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Decision in the application of Not What We Do LLC, 471 County Road 39, Tuckahoe, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-158-1-29. I move to reopen the hearing on this application.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
I'm Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
I move to close the hearing on the application of Not What We Do LLC for a decision later tonight.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
The decision in the application of Danalis Realty 2 LLC, 10 Schwanks Road, Watermill, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-113-1-8. I move to reopen the hearing on this application.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
I move to close the hearing on the application of Danalis Realty 2 LLC for decision later tonight.
Aye. Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
The decision in the application of Jason Flom, 15 Bay Street, North Sea, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-57-1-21. I move to adjourn the decision on this application to December 18th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
The decision in the application of Charles Kulisa and Maribeth Costa Kulisa, 29 Poplar Street, Noyak, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-5-5-53. I move to reopen the hearing on this application.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Just try to mix it up a little.
I move to close the application, the hearing on the application for Charles Kulisa and Maribeth Costa Kulisa for decision later tonight.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
The decision in the application of Bart Carfarella, 17 Dock Road, Remsenburg, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-366-1-10. I move to adjourn the decision on this application to December 18th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
The decision in the application of Anthony Adino and Rosemary Adino, 14 Port Elizabeth Drive, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-345-1-2.1. I move to reopen the hearing on this application.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
I move to close the hearing on the application of Anthony Adino and Rosemary Adino for decision later tonight.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia. Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, turning to the top of the agenda, number 2 on the agenda, the application of Michael W. Sonnenfeld, 1135 Mecox Road, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-134-2-25.2. Applicant requests relief from Town Code Section 330-115C, continuance for a principal rear yard setback from 41.5 feet to 13.7 feet for a proposed covered patio addition to a new dwelling on a non-conforming lot and any other relief necessary.
Board has jurisdiction.
Daphne, let me swear you in since this is a new. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. State your name and address.
Daphne Vaughn, Surfside Environmental Planning, 4 Happy Acres Drive, Shirley.
Okay, so tell us about this.
So, the proposed project is comprised of construction of a proposed roof overhang over a covered patio with dimensions of 5.2 feet by 21.1 feet, located in the northwest corner of a new residence currently under construction on the subject property, which is located on the southwest corner of Mecox Road and Ocean Road in Bridgehampton. The lot is zoned R80 and is non-conforming at 62,753 square feet. It's also encumbered by freshwater wetlands comprised of a dug pond that takes in the majority of the east side of the property. The lot is regulated by the Town Conservation Board and DEC and has received approval for the project, which included the requirement of 75-foot wide vegetated non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer, taking in additional property. It's all depicted on the survey. So the currently proposed roof overhang over a patio is located within the footprint of a previously approved areaway or light well that was approved in a variance decision D025036 issued on April 3rd by this board. The change was noted in a submission to the building department during their review of the application for the new residence by a letter from Christian Estrada dated July 9th. A building permit was issued for the original approved variance version of the house without this overhang on July, where is that? 25th. So construction very recently began. They've dug a hole for the foundation, and I believe that they're getting ready to pour it. So the reason for the proposed change is to cover a side door that was always on the plans. They had an areaway that ran the whole side of the house for light into the basement. They changed the basement plan that it did not require light in the one side, and they preferred to have, instead of a bridge going over the areaway from this door, they wanted to just continue an existing porch that's on the Mecox Lane side of the house around the corner of the house. So it meets the exact same footprint of the areaway that was previously granted. It's the exact same setback of the 13.7 feet, requiring a variance from 115C because it's non-conforming lot. But it's basically an at-grade patio with a roof overhang. We thought that this might qualify as a modification to the variance and not a new variance, but because the original variance did not approve a roof overhang in any capacity, we were told this had to be a new variance. But ultimately, it's the same area, same setback, just not a hole in the ground, it's a roof over a door that was always proposed.
Okay.
Everything else remains the same. There's no other.
Right. We had extensive discussions about this application in the past, and we had some concerns about the deer fence, which is going to come down before you get a C of O.
Correct.
And things like that. I personally don't see a problem. You're saying that this is exactly fits what the setback was for
Yep.
the footprint of the house, and this is just providing an overhang.
Yes.
And it backs up to property, its
Yeah.
rear yard is really backs up to another piece of property. with-
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's also in the family.
I know, it's a compound over there, yeah, right. Does anybody have any questions? Are there any questions in the audience on 1135 Mecox Road?
Stephanie, do we need like a modification from Conservation Board? I mean, I don't have any idea.
Maybe, I don't know if they, as far as the setbacks, the porch was part of their approval. I don't know that it matters if it's
Just wondered, 'cause
bigger
I- you
or
know,
smaller.
Usually we refer things, and I just was like, if it's not gonna get, there's no
all of those-
modification necessary.
Everything that's on the plan was approved. They may just be slightly smaller.
to
or
check on
slightly
it?
larger.
You need to check on it perhaps, so that you don't get caught? I don't know. What do you suggest, Katie?
I'll find out. I don't wanna re-refer it to Marty to have to wait for 3 months if it's, he'd be like, I don't need it. I'll ask Marty.
All right,
Just remind me
I
next
will,
week.
I will. I'm writing it down.
okay. Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on 1135 Mecox Road?
No one.
Okay, John, this is yours.
Okay, so I move to close the public hearing on this application, leave it open for written submissions to December 19th with a decision on January 15th. Aye.
Ms. Kane? Yeah, Mr. Reppin.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Both aye, yeah.
Thank you.
The 15th of January.
Thank you.
That's our first meeting in January, if you can believe it, so, okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Number 3 on the agenda, the application of John Abrun and Gazala Abrun, 7 Wild Duck Lane, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-125-1-28.3. Pursuant to Town Code Section 330-165A, appeals on interpretation of zoning law and map, the applicants appeal the determination of the building inspector dated November 4, 2024, that the R40 zoning district regulations apply to the subject property.
The board has jurisdiction.
Hi, are either of you attorneys? No. Okay, let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please individually state your name and address.
Keisha Mabulai, 15454 North Sea Road.
Keisha, how do you spell your first name?
K-E-I-Z-H-A.
Okay.
And Mark Schiffer, my office address is 53 Hill Street, Southampton, New York.
Okay. Who's making the presentation?
So we'll both do, but I'll start.
Okay.
So this is an application for Dr. Abram, who wants to do a little expansion on his house. And the lot is part of a subdivision that was approved here back in the 19, well, not that long ago. But that subdivision, you have the subdivision map on the submission, shows that it was subdivided in an R20 zoning. And when we prepared all the plans, we assumed an R20 zoning as per the subdivision approval, the initial subdivision approval. And the building department questioned it. They said, well, the lot is 44,000 square feet, and the existing zone at this time is an R40. So we should use they wanted a determination from the ZBA whether we should use an R20 setbacks or the R40 setbacks. My experience is that when a subdivision is approved based on a certain type of zoning, this runs with the land, and that this property should be subject to an R20 zone. So this is basically the application that we're presenting in front of you.
So when you say it was approved, the subdivision was approved through the planning department as an R20 zone?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like to make a comment?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very simple case. A conforming lot under today's zoning is not eligible for the zoning at the time the lot was created for a subdivision, unless you were talking about a cluster plan, in which the planning board said these lots are subject to R20. But the code is very, very clear. This is a conforming lot in R40. By this logic, we'd have a lot of subdivisions happening in this town under previous zoning designations. So I think this is a very, very easy application. It's not eligible for R20.
So you're basically saying that even though the subdivision was R20 when it was done, because it now meets
It was upzoned.
the whole thing
Area was upzoned,
the
and
whole area, not just this.
not just this piece.
Okay.
And if lots in that subdivision map would fall below the 40,000 square feet and became non-conforming, you know, there would be a different set of circumstances, because the code accounts for that.
So it was upzoned after planning
After planning did
approved
approve-
this subdivision with an R20 zone?
Okay,
But
So it was approved and then it was upzoned.
and then it was upzoned. And if you only had 20,000 square feet after it got upzoned, then you'd be qualified as a
Or
non.
30, you know,
Yeah,
it
right.
was something less non-conforming.
Less than
But
the
now, but because you have over
So-
40,000, that you don't qualify as a non-conforming
So
in the
I-
upzoned area.
okay, so obviously that's why we're here. We like
Yeah,
to,
okay, yeah, you want
know,
some
we-
clarification, yeah.
I have been doing this for a few years also, so I understand the argument here, but I respectfully disagree with that argument.
Well, it's
I
not an
think that-
argument, it's the town
No,
code.
no, I think that once a subdivision is approved under a certain zone, that zone, this is how other houses are built. in
No,
that subdivision.
no, Mark, that's not right.
Okay,
That's
It's not a
not right.
pre-existing non-conforming, it's,
I'd like to finish. May I finish?
Yes, go ahead, finish.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
in this case, I think that once a subdivision is approved under a certain zone, this runs with the land and it goes, and this is how it, other houses have been built using in that subdivision, using the R20 zone. In this case, that house was located initially in the center of the lot, so that was never an issue. The second point that I would like to bring up to this, to the board, is that this is sort of an interior lot that has a substantial driveway. There's a substantial portion of the lot which is a driveway. And this is why that lot exceeds the 40,000 square foot area. But without the driveway, it would not exceed the 40,000 square feet, and it would not be conforming to the R40.
But the
So I
town
think-
code does not define the lot area excluding the flag strip. So your lot area is, look, the building inspectors determined this is a conforming lot. And I'm gonna stand by what I'm saying, it's not eligible for the relief
Well,
in
let
that
me ask you
section.
this, Mr. Schiffer, do you have any authority in the code which would support your claim that the R20 designation runs with the land once the planning department has determined that?
So I'd like an opportunity to do this research. But I respectfully, I understand the argument here, but I don't think so. I think that, it's
Well, you came forward to try to, make your case.
Yes, I think
Right,
that, but I
okay.
would like to have an opportunity if.
Well, you
maybe to
can.
do more. I was not expecting, actually, I also thought it was a pretty straightforward application, where I thought it was just gonna get approved without any questions, because, I've been doing,
Okay.
when a subdivision is approved under a certain zoning, normally it typically.
But then it got
runs with-
upzoned.
Right,
So-
right, but it got upzoned afterward.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true, and that's
But
what happens.
But that's what enough zoning is.
I
It
think it's
happens
fair to
after.
give Mr. Schifford an opportunity to support his claim. I think he seems like he wasn't prepared for this.
Type of
I agree.
application, yes.
I agree.
I was
Little
not
wrinkle
presented-
and-
you know, I was not presented also these arguments.
Okay.
We were not
Well,
advised.
of course, you came forward, and that's, and that's fair. So is your feeling you would like to adjourn this, or do you want to submit written,
No, I'd like to have an opportunity to
adjourn.
submit a written,
and do you want an adjournment, come back to
yes.
make your
If
case?
I could, it will only take me very short, but make the argument that really, because all the properties, you see here, we have two arguments. One is the driveway, and two, the fact that the other properties in that same subdivisions have been, have been improved according to the R20 zone. So we're singling out an owner.
What
for
size
really-
were those two lots you're talking about?
Sorry?
What size were the two lots?
No, there are more than two lots. 1, 2, 3, 4 lots.
So you said two were approved with the R20 zoning.
No, I didn't say, I said other lots, the 4 lots were approved under the R20 zoning.
What size were those lots, though?
No, the subdivision was approved under the
Right.
R20 zoning. And to be fair, it also is because the subdivision was about the same time that the upzone was happening. And so the planning board, even though they made their application when it was R20, they knew that it was gonna be upzone, and that's why all of these lots are 40,000 square feet. So Mark, when you do your research, you need to look at 330-115.
Yes.
Because that's a section, and literally, the introductory language is that they have to be non-conforming.
Right.
That whole section talks about if you're a non-conforming lot, then you get this. And you're not a you're not a non-conforming lot.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but, okay.
I'm just saying, look at that section.
No, I understand exactly.
John, this is your application. Do you have anything you wanted to add?
No, it's pretty much given the opportunity to
Yeah,
do his homework on it.
Yeah,
Now, the question becomes, we don't really have space
Yeah.
for additional adjournments until February. So would you like to adjourn the case to February, or would you prefer to close it, provide us with a written submission, and then get a decision up or down one way or another without coming back? That's,
I trust that the commission is going to be fair and looked at my argument
okay.
and what we're going to present. So I'd like to be able to submit it in the next 2 weeks. And then I'd like all the commissioners to please really look at our perspective. I understand, I don't think it's a black and white type of situation. I thought it was a black and white in terms of Mr. Abrum's position that once it's approved in a certain way, that's where it goes. And if there's any upzoning later, it doesn't,
So you would be okay with it, providing a
Yes.
written submission by the 19th of December?
yes.
But, so are you
wants to
willing
close
to
it.
close it, and provide the written comments by the 19th, and then we'll consider it for,
Up or down vote
okay.
on
Before we do that,
on
we
your
need to
submission.
ask, is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on 7 Wild Duck Lane? Okay, we have a couple of people who wish to be heard. Okay, you can come up. I guess you better come up here, because we don't have a mic at the podium. Here, okay.
Thanks.
Who gets up for the record? You?
Okay,
Like
are
when
you,
you're wearing your name tag.
attorney?
I am.
Okay, please state your name and address.
Taylor Gonzalez of the law firm Furchelli Deegan Tarana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York.
Okay.
So it's Taylor Gonzalez, right?
Yes.
Taylor or Taylor?
Taylor.
Sorry about that. Okay, Taylor, give us your comments.
So I'm here on behalf of Ginger Saket and Ben Schott, who are the abutting owners at 5 Whippoorwill Lane. I'd first like to point out that the majority of the homes in the neighborhood are zoned R40. And as can be seen on the town of Southampton zoning map, which I provided, The property and all surrounding properties were zoned R40 when the map, copyrighted as of 2025, were published. We have the full map and then a zoomed-in version where you can better see the two properties. Unless a change of zone has been granted by the town board since this map was published, this should accurately reflect the applicant's property's zoning district. Well, it's possible previously the lot was zoned R20 as reflected on the 1983 zoning map, subdivision map. The town has the ability and clearly used the ability on its own motion to amend the zoning classification. Based on all information I have obtained from the town through FOIL requests, public information, and the applicant's own zoning board of appeals application, as of today, the lot is zoned R40 and has not been rezoned. 7 Wild Duck, as pointed out within the denial letter dated September 25th, 2025, complies with the required lot area and lot width of the R40 zoning district. I'd also like to point out that the present request to recognize the applicant's property as R20, also they may benefit from the reduced setbacks, is not in front of the proper board pursuant to Town of Southampton Code Section 330-185. The town board is the only board allowed to review any change of zone requests. With that, I'd like to respectfully request that the board uphold the determination of the building inspector that the lot is zoned R40.
Okay, thank you, Taylor.
May I respond?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your comments. I think that those comments are really inaccurate. I'm sorry to say that bluntly. But the map that was approved in 1983 for the subdivision, first of all, I would like to point out that this lady represents somebody who is outside of that subdivision. So in a sense, although I appreciate your comments as a Southampton town resident, it's not really part of this subdivision. Those lots, we are here talking about a subdivision that was approved in 1983 that consists of 4 lots, and that subdivision clearly states R20. I think that this board, the ZBA, has, the purpose of this board of the ZBA is to clarify any disagreement that we may have with the building inspector as to determination regarding the zoning. And this is what we have here. So I think we are absolutely in front of the proper board to review this application.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to be heard? Please come up. Sorry, we usually have a thing at the podium, but I don't know why it's missing. You're not? So let me swear you in. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address.
Barbara Burns, 11 Robin's Nest. My house, backyard, and John's backyard are adjoined.
You're
Okay.
adjacent that property, okay.
I applied for a, I bought the property in '86, applied for a garage in 2004. It was denied because it was 18 feet. They said, you're R40. I don't know what he's looking at, but my survey's from '86, and it says 40.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you. He's going to have to present information to us, and we're going to consider it. But I think you heard that, that there's a fairly strong opinion that, in fact, it's R40.
yeah.
Yeah,
but I
at
would-
this point.
if
We
I
will
may-
consider it, though,
If I may
clearly.
respond to this
Sure.
very nice lady here who came forward speaking, your property is not within that subdivision. So anything else around that property, around that subdivision, is definitely R40, so you were unquestionably R40. Here we are dealing with a lot that is part of a 4-lot subdivision that was approved in 1983 under an R20 zone. So yes, there are borders, yes, you are adjacent to that lot, however, your lot is definitely an R40.
Okay,
You understand?
yeah.
This is part of a subdivision.
And when
that
you
was-
bought the property in 2021, your survey said R40.
No, I'm sorry, no, it didn't.
It didn't say that.
No, contrary. As a matter of fact, when we
Did
initially.
you get a new survey
we
when you
have-
bought the property?
As part of the submission, when we initially came, we discussed it with the building department, and we discussed with Marty Shea also for because there were the proximity to the wetlands, and we have in his own writing R20. It was deemed to be an R20. This subdivision is an R20 subdivision. It will be a first that, I've been practicing for the last 4 years, that a subdivision suddenly that's approved under one zone gets suddenly upzoned.
No.
Wait, hold on.
Mark,
Wait,
that's
Mark.
not correct. That's factually incorrect.
Okay,
Everything you're
maybe I'm
saying is
wrong.
wrong.
Maybe
100% wrong.
Maybe I'm.
Okay.
You're 100% wrong.
Okay,
I'm gonna stand with my
but let's not
position.
go there. We've already made
I've also
that
been doing this for
argument.
27 years.
Yeah, no, I know. Please.
Outrageous.
You've already
That
made that
means that he'd be
argument.
able to subdivide his property under R20 zoning? No.
Okay,
No.
look, I think,
Yeah.
I think, John, if I may, you know what you have to do. You have to submit to us by, when was it, January 19th?
19.
December 19th.
I'm sorry, December
Submission.
19th, written comments, and we will make a decision subsequently on January 15th.
15th.
All right, so John, that was, you want to make that?
Well, you still need to see if
I just
anyone
want to see if there's
online.
anybody
Exactly.
online. Is anybody on Zoom who wishes to, oh, wait, one more? I'm
Somebody
sorry,
else.
please come up. I'm sorry.
We're spiraling out of control. Thank you, Mark.
At least we'll watch TV, we'll hear after.
Are you an attorney?
No, I'm a neighbor of.
Okay, let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Monica Robles Rey, 3 Whippoorwill Lane.
30 Whippoorwill, okay. So Monique, right?
Yes.
Okay, Monique, you want to tell us what your comments are?
It's just all the neighborhood is the same. We are all under the same zoning rules. And I would be very, very affected because sorry, I'm very nervous.
Don't worry about it.
Don't be nervous.
No, we share the property line at the back of our home, and it's not just the zoning; it's the pyramidal law. Like the proposal I've seen is not what you see in the neighborhood. It's not conforming with any rule
Okay, but we're not looking actually at that.
at the proposal,
At
just the
this,
zoning.
We're looking at the question of what zone applies to this property, and that's what we're gonna opine on. So don't worry, we're not approving
but-
setbacks and pyramid or anything like that. We're just looking at the zone.
So yeah, we are all in the same zone, so I don't find any reason.
Okay, and you can make your same point, but she's not in the subdivision, but that's the whole question of upzoning. So, all right, you know what you have to do. Thank you
I
very
would
much,
like to
Monique.
also, for the record, make again the same comment that I appreciate that your objection, but you are not within this subdivision of those 4 lots that was clearly approved under the R20 zone, and
In 1983, and
Yeah.
upzoned subsequently.
Right, but hold on, but just to be clear, that the question really is whether that subdivision is an island unto itself or part of everything else. So everyone around you can opine as to whether or not the subdivision is, a self-contained thing in the R20 zone or whether it is also R40. So
Exactly. No, I appreciate that.
she can
I appreciate
opine on
the
that.
argument. I think that it's a.
Okay, let me just see if there's anybody else in the audience. Did I miss anybody? Okay, is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this application?
There's one person.
Okay.
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, can't see you yet.
I'm in a cab, so,
Hi,
yep,
are you an
great.
attorney?
No, I'm not.
All right, let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address.
Jindrik Zajtek, 5 Whippoorwill Lane, directly adjacent property.
Okay. So tell us your comments, please.
So I'm represented by Taylor Gonzalez, our lawyer, but I wanted to make my point directly as well on behalf of me and my husband, Benjamin Schott. First, I want to state that when in the last 48 months, there were 2 other improvements happening on our side on North Shore Road. We did not protest neither of those 2 improvements because they were minor, and the 2 neighbors approached us to discuss. What happened here is that we were informed about this change 3 days, only 3 days before the October meeting. I then called Mr. Schiffert and I requested the plans which were not included in that notification. Afterwards, I also spoke to Mr. Abrun himself. During both discussions, and the board has now witnessed this, there were incorrect statements made. Secondly, multiple times on the call with Mr. Abrun, he stated, and I quote, he does not see how the proposed multiple structures on the property, including a 3-car garage with an apartment on top, 9 feet from my property line, impacts any of the neighbors. I repeat, he said he doesn't see how it impacts anybody. This is where my and my husband's kids play, and it would impact directly our privacy of our property. Mr. Abrun also, when I said that I'm going to oppose, and I feel so concerned that I have to bring in a lawyer, that he can build even something worse.
Okay.
So I just wanted to state how I'm concerned about, while he states this is a minor improvement, which is 1 bedroom and a garage, this is in fact a 3-car compound with
we're not
with an apartment
dealing,
on top.
okay, I appreciate that.
I know, but I'm a neighboring property and I'm really
I
concerned.
understand that you have a concern. We're not dealing with the actual structures at this meeting. We're dealing with whether he can claim the R20, setbacks and everything else, or he is required to meet the R40.
I understand,
And
and we
that's
understand
the only
that.
question that we're dealing with at this point. If in fact he has to meet the R40 and he wants a variance, he has to come back. I mean, that's the way it goes. Okay.
We are new to this, so I just wanted to share my concerns, and I understand
really
the R40,
appreciate
R20.
that. Thank you very much.
I would like, just for the
Okay, but
record-
then we're going to cut it short. Okay.
I would
This
just
is
like
it.
for the record, I would like to ask this board to disregard the comment of this gentleman regarding my client, John Abrun. John Abrun is a very, very.
All
nice
right,
person.
we're
We
not
never
dealing
do
with
that.
that now. We're not, I appreciate
He
that.
said exactly what.
Okay.
We don't think about that stuff.
We're not doing, in 1 year now.
It's really a question of law.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's not a question of fact. It's a question of law.
Okay, so, John, you want to
Okay.
make a motion?
All right, well, so we're gonna close the hearing.
Right.
And open for written subs for 1219
Right.
and a decision for 115.
Second.
Fair enough, thank you.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard. Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonio.
All right.
Chair votes aye.
Okay,
Thank you very
so
much.
Good holiday.
Number 4 on the agenda, application of Diamond Development Properties, 71 Ridge Road, Noyak, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-16-2-9. On June 6, 2024, by decision number D024056, this board found the subject premises to be held in single and separate ownership from all adjacent parcels with a condition that the ownership of the lots be separated within 6 months of said decision. On November 14, 2025, this board received a letter from Rebecca Cepeda requesting that said decision be amended to extend the time period to separate the lots into separate ownership.
The board has jurisdiction.
Okay, have I ever sworn either of you in?
In the past, yeah.
And so I did, okay,
No, but this
it's been,
This is
This is
new.
new.
This is new,
oh,
yeah.
all right,
I
that's
mean,
right.
it's a modification, but it's a new hearing.
Okay, so because it's a modification, I have to swear you in again.
no
Are
problem.
either of you attorneys?
No.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, please individually state your names.
My name is Kamran Gazvini.
Okay, Cameron, and,
Rebecca Cepeda.
okay, Rebecca.
Cameron, can you spell your last name?
Ghazvini.
Okay, who's starting us off? Okay, Rebecca.
So there was a decision made on June 6, 2024, where this town deemed that it was single and separate. There was a 6-month period where the deeds had to be switched into separate ownerships because they were in common ownerships. And when the lots were going to be improved in June 2024, that's when I had realized that it exceeded the 6-month approval.
Okay.
So we're requesting an extended time period for the change, because I did switch the deeds in June 3rd of this year. So that was 6 months after the 6-month approval.
So June 3rd of 2025, you did separate the ownership.
Now it's separate ownership.
Yeah, now it's separate.
Same dimensions, same survey, same everything.
Yeah, everything stayed the same, nothing was improved yet, so.
Okay. Julie, this is yours.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. It seems to make sense to me what you're
I mean, I
requesting.
think we all agree that.
Fine with that.
I mean, I don't know. John, do you have anything?
Oh, no. The only thing I would say is I'm very sorry to hear about your father's
Oh,
passing.
thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, so that was what was happening in the course of the 6 months, yeah.
Things happen, life intervenes sometimes, so,
Thank you, I appreciate that.
is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on 151 Church?
No.
Not, I'm sorry, on 71 Ridge Road, Noyak. Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard? Okay, Julie, this is yours.
So we are going to close the public hearing, keep it open for written submissions until December 19, with a decision for January 15.
Right. There's a-
December, did you say 15 or 19?
19, she said
19.
19th, yeah.
Second.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia? Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Griffin?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Where
you.
do we submit the affidavit?
I'll take it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a happy holiday,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Good luck with everything.
Number 5 on the agenda, application of Pier Vincenzo Russo, 151 Church Lane, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-86-4-7.1.
You've been, you're an attorney and you recognize, but just state your name and address again.
Oh, yes. Denise Shern from the Adam Miller Group, 2462 Main Street in Bridgehampton for the applicant.
Okay, Denise.
We were here at your last meeting, and there was some additional information requested, which we were able to submit in a timely fashion. The findings and determination of the zoning board determination that was issued was requested. We've submitted that to the file. That was an 804 square foot, cubic foot, variance, that was issued in May of 2001. And the other set of information that you were looking for was the pre-existing nonconformity that existed on the property without any variances, and then the amount of variance that was issued, and then what's proposed tonight. So on the easterly side, the pre-existing non-conforming part of the structure is 883 cubic feet, with a proposed variance for this evening of 205 cubic feet. And on the westerly side, we have pre-existing 559 cubic feet, pre-existing by variance 804 cubic feet, and currently proposed tonight is 6.4 cubic feet. Just as a reminder, this is for a 326 square foot second-story addition, and also a roof deck off the back of the house.
Okay.
It was very clear,
Yeah.
your presentation in the letter.
Thank you very much for providing that information. That was
Yeah, I think
very
it's helpful
helpful.
for the file
Yeah.
as well.
No problem.
Are there any questions from the board on this?
No.
John, you?
No, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on 151 Church Street? Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to be heard on 151 Church Street?
No one.
Okay, John, this is yours.
Okay, I would like to close the public hearing on this application, hold it open for written submissions to December 19th with a written decision on January 15th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Redhead?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much, Denise.
Thank you,
That was
Michelle.
Nicely
Have a
presented.
good night. Number 6 on the agenda, application of 19 Bay Drive LLC, 19 Bay Drive, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-269-1-46.
Susan,
Yes.
I'm recused on this matter.
All right, Helen is recused from this. Thank you.
Thank-
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have one more?
Yep. I have full size, if you want a full size.
Oh, Candace is gonna want a full size. I'll take the
Easier to
full size
see.
instead.
Yeah.
Okay, you want this instead of the other, or you want both?
you go.
You-
I
did you-
did leave one at the desk as well.
Oh, all right, then that one's fine.
Okay.
No, you keep that if you want to show the board.
All right. So, we did swear you in because you were on Zoom, correct?
Yes.
Just restate your names and.
Rocco Lettieri?
I'm sorry, what?
Rocco Lettieri?
Rocco.
Sorry about my voice.
Lateri?
L-E-T-T.
Letti.
I-E-R-I.
You have to
No, we didn't, we have a.
be fancy, nice.
When you're done, if you need it for the board.
No, we don't need it now. We have the little ones.
Sorry.
And good evening, members of the board.
Just say your name and address.
Vlahadamas Law, PLLC, by James Vlahadamas.
It's a lot tougher than mine.
Yes, 148 East Montauk Highway, Suite 3, Hampton Bays, New York, 11946. Attorney for the applicant, 19 Bay Drive LLC.
Okay.
So,
So let's summarize. When last you were here on Zoom, we had discussed a couple of things that needed to be
a
provided.
lot of clarity that we need to
We
take
needed
care
a
of.
lot of clarity. As I wrote down, and Kevin, this is yours, and just confirm whether, I had new survey that shows the correct coverage, pyramid on the building plans, and detailed presentation landscaping. Is there anything else?
Those are primarily the unresolved issues, or the issues needing clarity, so.
Yeah.
We went one step beyond that, and I just want to, commend Mr. Lettieri for this. We went one step beyond that, and you could see obviously, we know that the neighbor was very concerned about the topography and heights and things like that. So if you see in the submission, which I thought was extremely important and something Mr. Lettieri did without even my request, he put, there's a topographical rendering that will now show the significant grade differences. Nope, if you keep going, go beyond that, there's actually like a 3D rendering.
I think the best thing to do, if I went page by page with you, then I could explain it to you, and I think you'll understand it a lot
Oh,
better.
is it at the
Because
end?
the site is a really complicated site and small site, so I think we went page by page.
Hey, let me just ask one question. Did you make an application to the Conservation Board?
The last time we were here, Candace said that it was already been referred to the Conservation
Okay,
Board.
but have you made an
Not yet.
So you're still pending an you
Well,
still have to.
Yeah, I think you refer it to them, and then they have 45 days to act on it or something like that?
No,
Is
no.
that
I mean,
okay?
listen, if it's not subject to their jurisdiction, we'll get a letter of non-jurisdiction. I think you are. I think it's flagged, right, Anthony?
What's that?
This is have wetlands on it?
Conservation?
Well,
The height.
if you need a wetlands permit, this board won't even make a decision until you get a permit. Not a referral, a permit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand.
It's right, it abuts wetland, butts
Yeah,
water,
but it's so high up that it might be, and it's bulkheaded.
Okay.
So
So,
it might
but-
be out of his jurisdiction.
but we need to
So
confirm.
he'll have to confirm it, but
Okay.
you're way, way up above the water table there.
Okay.
And it's bulkheaded as well.
Okay, so you,
Okay, so starting
starting with page
So,
one.
Page one is just obviously showing, we were talking about screening and stuff like that, so it's showing some of the screening, and it's important that you see it because the original drawings were for talking about side yard variance and stuff like that, so I didn't have the exact topography from the surveyor, which he just gave to me this month. So I knew it was being nestled into the hillside, but here you can get a little more clarity because the top of the building, and we'll go through it, is at 35 or 36, I think 35. And the grade point over there is one of the highest point, like average points of, not average, but high point is like 29 feet. So the building is up, so the soil has to be retained because the building is getting slid into the side of the hillside there. So if you go to page two, where I showed you this picture last time, the existing house compared to the proposed house. And then the middle one is, we discussed about removing, I removed the chimney because it was a source of contention. I removed portions of the walls and the staircase on the south side.
yeah.
On the north side, obviously, like I said, that wall is a retaining wall, but you'll see in the elevations, I modified it and I removed that chimney from there as well, so we'll just do direct vent like gas-fired fireplaces, so it won't add any additional height there. And then the third picture, you can see how it's nestled in on the north side, a retaining wall that holds the soil back in the front of the house. Then obviously the retaining wall goes to a certain point, and you'll see that in topography. It drops off, and then that back retaining wall on the staircase retains the rest of the soil from falling into the pool area.
So this is just a site plan of it showing the chimney. The red is areas that are being removed or modified, as per our conversation last time.
Okay.
From feedback from the neighbors.
Being removed from the original plans that we submitted.
I remember the south side, for sure.
And then this is the updated topography from the surveyor. So obviously, the very northwest corner of the property is at 33 feet, right? So obviously, our top of our building is at 36 or 35. I can't see in there. So there is a huge grade change from the back to the front. So the building is actually going to get plugged into that. There's a lot of retaining and carving out for this whole thing to go in there. So it's really a one-story structure. It's slid in there, and then the basement of the structure is exposed to the back of the property. And it's retained to, obviously, on both sides, it has to be retained. Because even on the street side, you can see the topography, you have, 20 feet in the side yard, like right off the street. It rolls up from, if you were at the property from the road, the dirt rolls up really high up into the property there. So that's all that topography there. Then we're on the fourth page. This is probably why the buildings department didn't refer it, because, some of the benchmarks that were on the original survey had some topography on it. And they could see that, the dirt, the average grade of the dirt is a lot higher than the top of the roof. So it's just showing that, and we'll get the surveyor to put this in the plan and sign off on that whole entire thing for you as well. But that's probably why the building department didn't bring up a pyramid situation on there.
So are you saying that there is no pyramid
No,
relief
because
required
I
because of
can
the
even move.
elevations?
No, based on the average grade and everything, it's not, and the surveyor will go through all that. And the building can actually be moved over a little bit either way. It has room to go either way in that whole scenario.
So you're saying that you will not require pyramid relief?
To my knowledge and the information I got from the surveyor, we were not gonna need it, because your grade, the average grade in there is around like 24 or something like that, and the top of the building is at
And
35.
and
That's
you
only,
have-
that's a 11-foot difference, and we're further than 11 feet from the property line.
Okay, and you have a professional that
The
says that.
surveyor is gonna do it, because he's doing the topography
surveyor.
on it, and he'll take care of all that stuff.
Will that be reviewed by the building department?
It needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sent all over, everything's going to surveyor, and he'll update everything with that.
Okay.
And the next page is just a foundation. It shows like some of the retaining walls that are there, that are at grade. These are just floor plans, just so you can see. what
Can I,
we-
just quickly, going back to that pyramid page, showing what's being removed, the little drawing on the
There'll be better
bottom?
pages at the back.
My question is, if you're removing that whole wall on the
South side,
is that what it is?
Yeah, we had a wall that was hiding the staircase.
With the staircase, right.
Yeah, so that wall, obviously, whatever was above the grade, I'm removing it, and I'm removing the staircase as well.
And by removing the staircase, you're only gonna have access to the downstairs by going into the house from the top level.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the sacrifice
Okay.
for it, to get rid of that whole
Okay,
situation.
got it. Perfect.
What page are we on?
And that reduces the variance request for the staircase
That-
and
and
some
the
of the
wall.
wall area.
Staircase, wall, it's really just,
Well,
like
it
I.
removes that request.
At least with respect to the south side, which is going to be, right, because we have waterfront and then street front, so that's gonna be one of the front yard variances that we were seeking would now be relieved.
I mean, what the reality of the
Wouldn't
situation.
need it.
What are you doing in terms of screening? Because I know that there's a whole open
Yeah,
plan for
so
that bottom
I showed,
part.
and you can see in the first page, I showed Leyland Cypress, like, in the drawing, and that's what we had noted in the landscape plan that
Okay.
we gave you previously.
Perfect.
So remember, our position the last time we were here is that the screening would have covered that retaining wall and staircase that you would have seen, theoretically seen from the south side. So even though our screening would have covered that, because we would have put trees on the property line, we're still removing it. So even though you're not gonna be able to see it, we're still removing it as an accommodation to, obviously our prior
I'm fine with it,
discussions.
and it actually has sometimes when you reevaluate things and look at things, something better comes out of it, so. Looking at the staircase, the bridge effect that I have walking from the front yard, now when it goes out there, you're bridging across the garage entrance, and the thing floats now, so it'll have a cool effect.
Is there gonna
on
be a
it.
railing on that? There's no
Yeah,
railing
glass
in the
railing.
rendering.
Glass
Okay.
railing. All right, so I think we were on
People
floor
just fall
plans, and then elevations, which are just general stuff, so just give you information. Yeah, the front and rear elevation, you can kind of see, if you look at those pages, you can see the walls with the soil. The soil is those lines, because that's just contouring down to you. So looking at the north side, like the top elevation, you can see how high the grade is, and that's towards the front of the house. And then obviously the grade, it's a hill, so the grade gets lower and lower as it comes to you. And the same thing that's happening on the south side as well. And then you can see how that balcony, the entrance to the front door is floating in the air. It's not touching anything. It's all cantilevered now. And then the front elevation, we saw that one already.
And he is referencing, just for the record, page 9 of the submission that we provided today.
And then on 10, you can see where we removed the chimney from that whole north side. I put a screen wall in there for privacy, so that's just like open louvers on our angle, so it lets some transparency and light through. But you can see the dirt, the height of the grade there, and you can see relatively, the building there. So it's not this building that's 30 feet out of the ground. It's, it's literally probably 12 feet out of the ground there. Just the back corner where that floating deck is a little bit higher out of the ground, obviously. But we eliminated a chimney, which was a little more aggressive, that went up higher. And that whole structure got eliminated in that design. And then we took the wall, and you can see in both side elevations, we took the glass railing and then also transitioned the retaining wall to follow the glass railing down so that it becomes the railing for the staircase and retains the soil at the same time.
Just to stay on that page, it was, again, some confusion at the prior meetings. These elevations that are on the right-hand side of page 10 are from sea level.
Yeah, they correspond to if you look at the surveyor's contour map, which was on page 3, those numbers correspond, those are the numbers that we go off of, because his number says 30, 29, 28, that's how, those are correspond with our elevations, those are called benchmarks from the surveyor, so that's why it says 36 or 37, it's not the actual height of the building, because it's from grade, so the grade, adjacent grade is with that.
So when there was some confusion at prior meetings that number with 36 feet meant that it was a 36-foot tall building, and that is not the case.
Yeah.
So it's 36 feet, starting at 13 feet, 8 inches.
So it's 20-something.
Correct.
Okay.
And the back of it is at the highest point, but most of the house is not. Most of the house is a one single-story structure.
What's the highest point on the back of it?
The highest point on the back is,
22.
grades at I think it's at 14, top of the building, top of the roof is at 36. So
We're on the next page now.
14 minus 36. That's the highest point in the back, the very back. But the north side is obviously really low, as you see it. The south side, same thing, it retains, the retaining wall, so obviously you can do a walkout, so it's almost like a walkout window, area on the side of the building, so that you can utilize that basement area as a living space. The next page is just another colored elevation, which is similar to the black and whites. And then I think now we get into the perspectives with the contours, which I think is really helpful. And you can see how the building is nestled into that hillside. So it's a really low profile, and that was part of the original design. I understand some of those renderings are really dramatic, because it's taking a picture from the back of it, looking up at it, and it's right? Because it's looks grand and everything.
Right.
But the reality of it is, it's supposed to be like the front of the house. When you pull up to it, it's supposed to be a very subdued design, low profile, very California, style with it. So a low, clean thing, and then it drops down on the hillside there. So the only dramatic portion of it that any really is going to really experience is the people that are down by the pool looking up at the structure. From the street and the entrance of the street, it's just going to look like a single-story building. And then from the north side, the same thing, pretty much. So this is looking from the southeast of the building, so looking at that building from that direction, and you can see how the contour and the building slides into that hillside. And then the next page is just looking from east, north, looking south from the north side there. And you can see how the dirt travels down along those retaining walls, and then picks up on the next retaining wall that's against the house. And then we'll have the tree line along the neighboring property all along there. So, on top of that wall in the front of the house, there's probably only 6 feet of the house that's exposed, right? Because below down, and you put a 8 to 10 Leyland cypress, you're never gonna see anything there, because you pretty much in the top corner, you could look over the top of the roof if you wanted to, if there was nothing there. So, it's down into there. And the same thing with the last two. So it's just a couple of perspectives to try to let everybody understand how this thing is nestled into the hillside. Do you have any questions?
A couple.
We will have a couple of
Sorry, go
questions,
ahead.
I'm sure. Go, Kevin, it's yours, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just, I appreciate the effort made to make this, you said something earlier about just, there's a lot going on here, and it's a pretty small lot.
Yeah.
With interesting topography and other things, so, I just want to acknowledge, I appreciate the effort that you made. A couple things. One is, there's some fairly mature oaks on the way to the water. I think I'd like to have some discussion around keeping those or retaining them, because in as much as I think you've presented this better and it looks better and alleviates some of the concern I have, it's still a 70-foot structure, even though I understand everything you just said. And the native planting scheme is preferred over a Leyland cypress planting scheme.
Yeah.
Generally,
I mean, just, no, I don't mean to interrupt, but the oaks and everything that are back there, for me, I would leave those oaks. I would just raise the canopy of them a little bit, just so it's columnar. And the scale of it, I'd rather have something with scale to put the house in context with the site. So I'd rather have something tall, so that the house doesn't feel like it's out of scale either.
I'm a literalist, so when I see there's not a tree anywhere that looks like it's been there for 10 years,
Yeah.
I'm reacting to that. So I appreciate that. If you don't mind, and we can get that into a condition on the approval as well.
I agree with that too.
So, all right, so what would
I
be-
think leaving some of the mature oaks or whatever they are there, and just being able to raise the canopy on it so it doesn't obstruct the view, but scale and have the columnar tree coming up through the site is beautiful to have on the site anyway.
Can I just ask to clarify, when you say some of them, what is that?
But I don't know which exact trees. I didn't do a field survey of actually trees that are there.
Mature oaks.
There's the mature oaks he's talking about.
And
so.
they're,
Would you also put the cypress in as well?
Yeah, we do the mature oaks I think they're in the middle of the property, right? So like they're
Okay.
in the central portion of the property.
and it also looks like they're past the pool, so I don't think it
As
creates
long
that
as it's not
conflict.
obstructing where the pool's going, anything like that.
Understood.
And I can raise the canopy up, because I'd rather have a clean trunk rising up.
Understood.
And a nice column and
Yeah.
looking out onto the water.
Okay, thank you. That was one concern I have. I just think that also impacts what somebody walking down to the water with a stroller or something would see, as opposed to just a wall of cypress.
I agree
So,
100%.
Okay, so that's one, and what, if anything, is happening on the roof, if anything?
It's a rubber roof that's on top of the roof.
Okay,
There's
so.
no access.
No deck, no, there's no access on the roof.
So that can be stipulated.
There's just the balcony off the living room there,
Right.
which is,
Okay.
that's it in the back,
You-
on the water side.
So we can.
No rooftop
we-
decks.
All right, so we can acknowledge that in the.
Yeah, I don't want a rooftop, it would look like crap with railing up there, that's like beyond.
We've had other issues with this.
We've had issues with this. You don't want to know about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Glass railings.
There's
I
no.
yield to my colleagues.
There's no new survey, so.
Well, the survey is that topography map,
Oh,
so
wait,
I'll
hold
have
on.
him, that's the newest version that he gave me on November 5th. So we'll have him update whatever he's gotta update, and he'll just tweak and move everything around, but we'll get
Take the
everything.
topography lines out because that makes it really hard.
I know, but the topography was important for this
No,
meeting.
no, for this meeting, absolutely, and we've got the file now, and we've got it in the
Yeah, I
record,
just
but
want-
I'm just saying.
I wanted
yeah.
to get some more feedback before I get more involved with the
Right, right,
drawing, so that we're moving in the right direction, because it's a lot
Regular
of time and
survey will be
energy.
much easier for.
Yeah, right, but I think you should note on the survey, the landscaping.
Yeah, we
Wait,
had
on-
on the last time, we had a landscape plan, but we'll do a totally separate landscape plan. If I have to, I'll go out to the site, or I'll have the surveyor, like, locate those big trees, and he can put them on. I'll tag them, I'll drive out there, I'll tag them, and then he could locate them, put them on the survey, and then it can be part of the record that they're on the survey, and we'll just make a note about raising the canopy on them.
That's what I would like
Yeah, and the
to.
Conservation Board would probably ask the very same questions with the same concerns.
Okay.
All right, so it seems that you still need to approach the Conservation Board, wetlands permit.
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody has anything from Con Board. Candace's, like, correspondence log does say we got something 9/25. Just says, received referral response from Conservation Board, a wetland permit application needs to be filed.
Okay.
Oh, somebody has it.
I've
Does
got
anybody up
something
here
here
have
from
might have it
September
somewhere.
24th.
Okay.
It says, based on environmental field assessment, subject waterfront property is marked by a partially failing bulkhead with high tide waters bypassing the structure, thereby setting the town wetland permitting authority at 200 feet landward of surface. As such, conservation wetland permit application needs to be filed. Did you not get this letter?
We did not.
All right, and then it says,
That's September.
this is September.
We got it. The only thing we heard about wetlands was when Candace said it the last time we were here.
Well,
I
to
don't
be
know
fair,
where it would have been sent.
to be fair, the last time we heard this, looks like it was in September, right?
Yes, but wouldn't have been served
Okay.
upon us somehow, or?
Katie, can you make sure that they get a copy of this letter?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that letter came to the board? Doesn't
Came
go
to
to the
me.
property owner? Okay.
I mean, it's assumed that you are also simultaneously making an application to the Conservation Board. That's why I said at the first hearing,
Yeah.
you should get before the Conservation
We'll
Board.
get Chuck from land use to take a look at it and
Yeah.
go from there and see if the
I'll
bulk.
give you my copy, but it's my only copy.
No worries.
Will you,
I'll go make a copy right now.
Thank you
all
very
right,
much.
and then
One
you
for
can
everybody,
just
so
take
you can have
that.
it, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, did anybody else get it, or just me? No. I'm glad I brought it. I'm glad I brought it. But it does deal with the question of the way. So that seems to still be a pending item before we can make a final
Yeah,
determination.
but we just, it's better to go through this process because we need to know where this is gonna wind up. Because if we got something approved by you,
And then, yeah, no, you
and then
gotta
the
get.
wetland says, no,
Well,
it's
we
better
don't,
to-
we don't do it
Yeah.
until wetlands, until we get
Exactly.
some, all right, is there anything else from members of the board on this application? Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be here? Please come up.
we'll just have to update some things on this too, like with adjustments we made, we're gonna change.
You'll have an opportunity.
Yeah, we'll have to
for
adjust stuff
written
to-
submissions.
on the submissions.
You look familiar. Did I swear you in on this? Okay, just please state your name again. I'm sorry.
Barbara,
Okay, Barbara. Okay,
Hi. I feel like we're the only adjacent neighbor, very nice owners, we've met with them,
are you the neighbors
we're the
that,
only neighbor.
on the side? Yeah, okay.
Husband was here last time with you, right?
Original,
Does anybody else want a copy?
it's in the same packet we now have.
Perfect.
I went, since we hadn't gotten anything updated, I went in person to the town of Southampton offices on the 2nd of December. I was asked to fill out a FOIA form because Candace was not there. I did. I was told, because they then called Candace, that they had nothing new on file since the last meeting. So I'm responding,
To what was before?
nothing.
Right, so you have not shared this with the neighbor?
Yes, I did. I sent it to him by email.
This whole thing?
Today.
The moment, no, it was yesterday. The moment I got this, I sent it to him. Mr. J had emailed me.
Mr. J, please sit down. You can't do that,
I'm gonna
okay?
state
You
for the
should know
record-
better.
I
Please.
received it from Mr. Lettieri
Stop.
yesterday, and as soon as I received it, I immediately sent it to Mr. J. Yes, Mr. J emailed me on Monday, and I will tell the board, I broke my nose on Thanksgiving. I was at doctors all day on Monday and Tuesday. I did speak to Mr. Lettieri, and he sent me the document, and as soon as I got it, it happened to be a coincidence that Mr. J emailed me the day before.
Okay.
But I sent it to him immediately. I
Okay.
just want to say this because this is now the third time Mr. J has alleged that I did not give him documents. And I've personally delivered documents to his house. I've sent him multiple emails with documents. He responds back to me saying that he cannot open up those documents because he's not proficient with computers. And under prior times that we came here, I personally delivered them to his mailbox.
Okay, thank you very much for
I
that
trust you, James.
clarification.
I know you well enough.
Okay, so in other words, you haven't, you're just hearing for the first time what the explanation is, You're gonna have to take a look at the materials. I think it's like, unless there's something relevant to what's been described today, I think that, we should probably just deal with that. We don't need to deal with the old stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so what would you like to deal with?
Mr. Leonard usually makes comments about going back to the 5 areas that.
Right, the
zoning-
5-point test,
So
yes.
I have included that in my answer specifically on each one, my objection
that's
to it, so
terrific.
thank you. The other thing that I would.
You want a copy for them?
I have so many. You could, is there?
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
they
have
need
extra
to get a
copies.
copy. Okay.
You're like, I don't want it.
We just wanted to know, that's all.
At number 2, on the last thing I'll bring up on, and that's in my packet, the letter that you did not receive from the Conservation Board, Harry Ludlow. It said, number 2, as the current project plans would require the granting of significantly lesser wetland construction setbacks than the minimum 100-foot wetland setback required by 325-9. It is highly unlikely that the current redevelopment proposal would be wetland permitted. As such, any decision on the pending variance application needs to be held in abeyance until the requisite wetland approvals are obtained.
That's right, and we are going
And
to
it will
hold
be.
it.
Thank you.
It will be.
It will be.
It's
And
just as a matter of
and they-
course. That's
And
how we do
also, you should get the new information to the Conservation Board, for sure, because, they may be looking at old information.
Yeah, we
from
reduced
the
it.
original, with the different
I
bulkhead,
mean,
all that stuff, so
It's not
you
my
need
first,
to.
it's not my first time at the rodeo. We did,
Okay, that's
you
good.
know, Jobs Lane and Bridgehampton, the whole site was wetlands, and we built a house with a pool on top
So
of the roof. and
you have
I've been through
to,
the
you
rodeo
have
with
to
it.
go through
So
that process.
This is not as substantial as like a project I did on Jobs Lane, so this is a lot less impacted wetlands.
You hope that they,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so,
And I would just like to say, I don't think I've taken my 3 minutes. I would just like to say that I only got this letter, and I only got this letter because I went in person and they gave it to me.
Yeah,
We didn't have it.
I'm apparently the only one who ever received the letter, and I just assumed that it
Dated
was.
September 24th.
Yeah, it's the 24th, so.
It's funny that it says that, because it behooves the conservation, if you're really a conservationist, to leave a house like that that's pumping nitrogen into the ground and crap, when you can put a new nitrogen system in and a new
You
house.
have a lot
and
of
everything
arguments
else.
that you can
Yes.
make.
Is this for me?
Yes, that's for you.
You
Okay?
can have that.
You can have that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Okay.
exactly what I gave your husband by email.
Okay, yeah, but
But
by
now you have a hard
email,
copy.
I know, trust me, I get it. It's not
I
so
have a
easy.
good phone and I don't own a computer.
And I have a computer, and some of the
I-
stuff
I
on
swear.
email is just so
So-
hard to read. But now you've got the full, and you got the explanation as well.
And you
tonight.
have time.
Yeah, you have time. You have time, because they have to go through the whole wetlands process too. So, okay, anybody else in the audience? Okay, thank you. You, all right, you need to comment? Okay. 3 minutes. Okay, I know I've sworn you in. Just restate your name, please.
Yes, Robert J.
Okay, Robert.
Well, not to use my time, the drawing is not accurate, just like the other drawings submitted. This is where the property ends, 7 foot, and they're showing the cypress beyond. So this is not accurate. If the cypress were abutting here, and this is not accurate because the driveway goes to the border of the property. So there isn't this adjunct adjacent property. That's my property.
It's not correct. It's absolutely incorrect.
Okay.
The
You know,
survey
Robert,
shows
let me
it.
just say this. They're gonna have a new survey.
Okay.
That's gonna
Change
show
it.
what it's hard to read on the one with all of the.
The survey shows the driveway coming to the edge of the property.
For the record, we are not attempting to build anything on property that is not owned by my client.
Oh, of course not. Oh, I'm not, I didn't, if you think
The house
that's what I
is-
said, I didn't say that.
The house is 13 feet off the property line.
Right, the driveway goes to the edge of the property.
No, I moved it back, because I have the retaining wall.
Oh, okay, on your own plans tonight.
That is a older survey, it still shows
Okay,
a chimney on it, it's just a topography map. So
Okay.
if you
There's
want me to
mixed-
educate you, and I can do it in
No,
a very
Rocco,
nice way, I'm gonna educate you on it, but
Okay, then the drawings are mixed here. Some are new, some are old. Some
We
show
all
the
knew.
pool on the right side of the property, some show the pool on the left side of the property.
So
Says
just,
the
just so you know,
staircase
you're
is-
seeing
Can I
this
give
for
us
the
a
first time,
survey?
and so have
saw
we.
it
So
yesterday.
hold on.
As
wait,
James
wait,
said,
Wait,
he
wait, wait,
emailed
just
it to me.
slow down. So, let's go through this calmly.
Yes, thanks, Mr.
Try not to repeat anything you previously told us, and focus on, and you're only seeing this for the first time. You'll have more time to submit additional comments.
Thank you.
We're not making a decision tonight or
Understood.
anytime immediately. Okay.
Okay,
Can you pass it down?
these are your comments? Okay. I think before you go further, you need to familiarize yourself with what is just come out hot off the presses, as we are, and you're certainly welcome to submit additional written comments. after you've had an opportunity.
Here, give this to me.
And as I said, and as Mr. McDonald said, this is not going to be decided tonight.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
not even going to be decided the next meeting or the meeting after, because we still have to go through the wetlands permit.
Yes,
And
understood.
so there will be an opportunity for you to digest this stuff, rather than go through, unless you've got something new to add to
I
this.
only have this one page.
Okay,
Well,
but we don't need to.
we don't need to
you
read it into the record.
We're gonna,
It's in the record now. You just put it in the record. Katie, did you get a copy of this?
We heard last time.
Could you give,
can you give Katie a copy?
give Katie a copy and that'll become part of the record?
He has one left.
No.
I got one, thank you.
I don't understand.
I got
It
it.
is new information.
Because you haven't looked at the new plans he just gave us. How could it be new information?
And we know you're concerned.
No, and,
Mr. Macedonia,
and sir, you're,
What I have done,
I'm sure,
I'm allowed to speak, even if I'm just allowed to have
No,
3
but-
minutes.
but sir-
It's only one page. Sorry if you're upset by
madam, we're
it.
gonna be here forever.
Mr. Leonard, I'm just trying to address your issues. This is new information that we haven't discussed, or I haven't presented. Maybe to you, it's not.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead?
Okay. Going down your application, the variance requests completely fail to meet your own criteria as presented on your application. We just don't understand why it's being considered. Number 13, is this a minor variance? No, absolutely not. 14, the area variances in total are for 60 feet.
We're not asking for area variances.
Let him have his opportunity, you can
Yes,
respond.
on each side, on all 4 sides of the property, they total 60 feet. Is it an undesirable change to the neighborhood or detriment to the neighboring properties? The answer is yes to both. The proposal calls for denaturalizing the property, and unlike what has been said here, it will result in the removal of all existing trees on the property. They removed 4 oaks already that they weren't allowed to by the bay, and this will remove all the other mature oaks on the property. It's one of the largest properties on the block already. It's 1,564 square feet. It's not in character what they're proposing with our block and neighborhood. We have smaller, modest homes on larger properties. This is one of the largest homes on the block already, on the smallest property of all on the block. And they're basically building, as I've presented it prior, so I won't go into it, on all the buildable land. The property slopes down as it approaches the bay. And there's an area that you really could not build on because it slopes down to the bulkhead and to the water. So they're building on all the land that they can, from the driveway at the very front to where the pool ends at the back. As the immediate neighbor, granting these variances will be a huge detriment to our property, number 15. Loss of nature, loss of privacy, sky plane impact and correlating loss of sunshine and views, loss of habitat, negative impact on the bay, stormwater runoff, damage incurred by our mature trees and shrubs between the 2 properties. Can the benefits be achieved, number 16? By any other method? And the answer is yes. They can either renovate the existing 4-bed, 2-bath home or build a new home, which would conform to code. Will the variances be substantial? Number 17, yes. Again, they're asking for 60 feet around the full perimeter of the property on all four sides. Is there a physical or environmental adverse effect? Yes. They're denaturalizing the property, and that has a devastating effect. It impacts natural habitat, the environment, adversely affects the land and the bay. The owners purchased, number 19, a street-side property, a long rectangle, barely in excess of 2/10 of an acre. And therefore, everything they're requesting results from this one unescapable fact. It's the epitome of a self-created hardship. They bought this very narrow and very small property, and they want variances on all sides of it, but they bought that property. They should have bought a property, like Mr. Leonard referenced, across the street is on a 1-acre property, 5 times the size. Number 20, were all permit certificates acquired? As far as we know, and my wife's been to the various departments numerous times, that answer is no. The letter you didn't get from wetlands, we knew in the summer, we were told by the Wetlands and Conservation Department in the summer that this development is a non-starter, would not be issued permits. It's too close to the bay, it's too overzealous in all of these aspects. And in the letter from the chairperson, it says that it's highly unlikely that a wetlands permit would not be.
And they're going to have to go
issued.
through the process and see
Okay.
what the result is. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
If I can just ask one question. Sorry, if you'll just indulge me, and then I'm leaving. We come to these meetings, and we appreciate everyone's time. We do. And thank you for your service. But it's a one-way dialogue in that my wife and I don't understand, just for your understanding. We don't understand why this is even under consideration, because they bought this very small property.
What's the question?
The question is there going to be a time when there's a dialogue? Like if I ask, you listen, but it's not that we're having, it's not giving me an understanding of what's the consideration here. So maybe at a future meeting, there could be some, I don't know if that's protocol, but as far as our understanding, is there any give and take?
I think, hold on.
No give and take.
I think I can answer part of your question, sir.
You're not authorized to do that.
You're not authorized, that's the answer then.
Well, it's not just that. It's, I think something that you have to understand is because it looks to you, from your perspective, that this shouldn't even be entertained. But the fact of the matter is that landowners are entitled to make an application to this board for the relief that they requested. And then we vet that information, we compare it and contrast it to the elements of the 5-part test and decide one way or another by an up or down vote. So we're here simply because a landowner has a right to be here, to press their application, just like you have a right to come here and express your objections.
We say no to a lot of things.
I didn't hear you.
We say no to a lot of things. We have to consider every application that's
Thank you.
before
No,
us.
thank you for the explanation. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And you see, there is a give and take because here we are today, and there's been changes to the plans. And this application is going to go through the wetlands process, and there could be further changes to the plans because there may be certain setbacks that are required. We just don't know yet.
Trust me, we do a lot of homework before we come to these meetings. We read all the materials, and we have definitely questioned you very significantly.
And consider the possibility that we understand your concerns.
Yes, we do. But as Mr. Leonard said, we have to weigh landowners' desires to develop their property and community standards. So we're going to take it all under advisement, and thank you for your comments. Is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on 19 Bay Drive?
There's one person.
Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, I can't see you.
I'm trying to get the video going, but, oh, here we go. Hi, I'm Effie Piros.
Are
My
you an
husband and I
attorney?
own.
Are you an
I
attorney?
am not an
Let me
attorney.
swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Effie Piros, 20 Bay Drive. My husband Nicholas Campbell and I are the owners of 20 Bay Drive, and we are the neighbors directly across the street from 19 Bay. The frontage of our property is almost 140 feet, so we are really the only neighbors that face 19 Bay Drive. We've owned the home for 5 years, and we welcome the development of 19 Bay Drive. We just have a couple of questions. Yet I should note that yesterday the homeowners of 19 Bay shared the plans with us, and we just have a couple of questions for the architect regarding the retaining wall. That really is our only concern, is the retaining wall on Bay Drive.
So the retaining wall is only retaining obviously the soil, so at the height of the soil, because if you know that side there, the ground goes up, rises up on that property there from the street, sharply
Yes.
rises up. So that is just retaining the soil there, because the house is kind of pushed down into the hillside. So we removed that tall retaining wall that was carrying the walkway and the staircase that went there. In the original drawings, there was a big wall that was like probably 6-7 feet above the grade and went down further and hid the staircase. We removed all that. The staircase is just, the walkway is just floating, and the retaining wall is approximately like, 5 feet below that, 4 feet below that, and then travels down along the property, keeping the soil away so that the basement can be exposed, so they have a lower level. It's basically, a house is a 1-story house at the grade, at the street in the front, right? It just, as the property drops off towards the street and towards the bay, the property gets exposed, and the basement's exposed in the back, so that we can put bedrooms down in the lower area of the house.
So how tall is the retaining wall?
The retaining wall is like, if from what you'll see, maybe a foot or so towards a foot or 2 feet at the pool side. Closer towards the front of the house, you won't see any retaining wall. You're not gonna see anything anyway, because there's gonna be a row of leylands or trees there blocking the whole house anyway, that are gonna be like 8 to 10 feet high anyway. So you're gonna see trees.
So from the street, so my house really faces their existing driveway and house. So how much of a difference in elevation is there going to be from the street to the retaining wall? Is that from
It rises up about probably around, like, the dirt rises up like 4 feet there.
Oh, okay.
So, but we're gonna be planting trees on that, it's basically a
Yes.
hillside, right? So we're gonna
Yes.
be planting trees along that hillside. So if you look at the first page of the drawings that were sent to you, it shows a perspective of looking at the house from the front, and you can see like a hedgerow going along the street and a hedgerow going along the north side. Obviously, that hedgerow would keep on going towards the front of the house. I just stopped it so that you could see what the house looks like. If I bring the hedge there, you wouldn't be able to see the house in context with the site.
Okay, I wasn't able to understand it from these plans.
If you need to have a private conversation with me, I could have a call with you, and I could explain it to you a little further if you need to.
So you said it's about 4 feet above street level, the retaining wall?
Yeah, but that's the dirt, because the dirt rises up like 4 feet in the
Yes,
average.
Yes, it's very irregular over there. Okay, I think that is, as far as I know, the concern of myself and the people on the block walking down. It looks like a beautiful home, and like I said, we look forward to the development of this home on the block.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
If I could just underscore, we're not making a decision tonight. You have more plans that you have to do. You have to go to another board. To the extent that you use this time, the time period you have now, to have that communication with the project sponsor, do that, and people will understand better what you're proposing.
We're just trying to educate everybody on it, because it's
No, I think
complicated.
you did a good job today. I
Move
think it
forward,
was.
one step at a time.
Yeah, I think it was fairly clear. Okay, Kevin, this is yours.
So how do we want to handle
We gotta hold it
adjourning
open,
this?
Well,
We gotta leave
we're
it
not
open.
going to be able, we're going to,
We have to hold it open, Katie, right?
do you want to adjourn and
think we
and have
do.
them come back once the wetlands permit comes in? Is that your
I-
sense?
I
Is that
think
the
we-
sense of the board?
Yeah, I'd put it over to February at least, and then
February
see where you are.
Which February?
February 5th.
5, James? 2.5? That works. Or 2.19?
Yeah, all right, so let's,
All
all
right.
right,
So-
let's propose adjourning to,
I will, I make a motion to adjourn the hearing.
Why don't we put it on the 19th?
I'm sorry?
Why don't we put it on the 19th?
I'll be away on the 19th.
no, February 5th.
Thank you.
You're going to have time anyhow to get the wetlands stuff done. All right, so go ahead.
So I'm gonna,
Yeah, and if we don't have feedback from the wetlands, we can just
Adjourn it.
just adjourn it from that point. We just need to get to them and let them understand what's going on with it and the benefits
so-
of it.
Okay, so Kevin, you want to make a motion?
so we will adjourn this, I make a motion to adjourn this hearing at 19 Bay Drive LLC to February 5.
Is there a
2026.
second?
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Mr. Rev, oh,
Aye.
who seconded? Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Revhan?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Nope, she recused
She's
herself.
recused.
That's right, she's recused. Mr.
Aye.
Macedonia, aye. Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
And Chair votes aye. Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Members of the board, thank you very much. Happy holidays to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
Good luck with your nose.
Thanks.
Hopefully there's a good story behind it.
Yeah,
Good night to you,
touch
too.
football gone wrong.
Oh,
Number 7 on the agenda, application of Ariati LLC, 292 West Montauk Highway, Hampton Bay, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-253-1-25.
Thank you.
Come on down. You're the next contestant.
all right.
Applicant David Gilmartin, Greenberg.
Hold on, we're just getting ourselves settled. I know you've been waiting, but give me 1 second here.
He's ready to go.
All right, okay.
Sat here long enough.
David, you always bring these. Okay,
All right, Sean, you got the 3-minute rule in effect now?
It doesn't apply to applicants.
Okay.
As I've been.
okay, now we're ready.
All right, for the applicant David Gilmartin Jr., Greenberg, Troy, 2317 Montauk Highway, Bridgehampton. I have a member of the LLC, John Tortorella here.
Are you going to speak, John?
What's that?
Are you going to speak?
If you want me to.
Okay, well, maybe. Are you an attorney?
No,
Let me swear you in.
I'm the owner.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay. Please state your name again and your address.
John Tortorella, 54 Dunby Lane, Southampton.
Okay, David, I assume you're making the presentation. It's been
Yes.
quite a while.
It has been a while, and during that time, we were in front of the planning board, which you deferred to for secra. And we got a neg deck under type 1. I can hand up a copy of it to you, but that was the time delay here. I know I've been over this superficially with you a couple times, so I apologize if I repeat myself. Property is located west of the Bordy Barn and east of Centro, the restaurant, if you know that. It's on the north side of the road and it backs onto the Long Island Railroad. Our application tonight is to build 3 different structures that total 29,096 square feet. Since it's one lot, it's limited to 15,000 square feet. Our argument here is that we're entitled to divide this property into 3 different lots using the 15,000 square foot minimum. That would give us 45,000 square feet, and we're only asking for 29,096 square feet of structure. I handed up some documentation to help us along the way, which I think will be important. The first Exhibit A is a shot of first the property, and then the property is on the north side of Montauk Highway. I then provided you an aerial right here. As part of our application and presentation on secra, we gave the zoning board a copy of a proposed 3-lot we're not proposing it, but that we could subdivide in 3 lots, and it meets the zoning requirements. And then I provided you with a decision, and I rarely say this, But I believe that this decision sets a precedent for our application because it is so closely aligned. Right. And if you look, it's this property here directly to the west.
Hold on, let me just get to that. Which property is it?
It's directly to the
Quinlan?
west. This right here,
Yeah,
right next to it.
okay. So is it the Quinlan Electric? Is that what it is?
No.
Oh, it's,
No,
I'm
that's-
sorry,
it's-
I'm sorry, it's,
Yeah, right here. Right next to the red
oh,
dot.
so it's not west, it's east.
I
Did you
think
just say?
that's west. West.
The property is east of the
East.
power.
The property's east, but the one I'm talking about is west.
Okay,
So,
okay,
so
got it.
the subject of the prior decision that this board made is to the west.
Okay.
That's the 2008 decision?
Correct, correct. And if you look at it, or if you have a chance to look at it, that property is 130,769 square feet. There were 29,160 square foot of structure. We're 9 square feet less, and then,
Are you a bigger piece of property?
we are 9 square feet less than
In terms of,
total square footage
of the buildings or of the property?
of the property.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same.
Okay, it's essentially
Exact
the
same
same,
size
yeah,
property,
okay.
and we're asking for less, about 20 square feet less
Okay.
of square footage for the structure. So it is basically the same property. And that's really the driving argument of our case, is that we could subdivide it into 3 lots. We could yield a significant amount more of density here, but are choosing to do it this way. I suspect if we're not successful tonight, that you'll see a subdivision application in there and a full yield. So with respect to the benefit to the applicant, obviously he's gonna get the opportunity to develop the property. I think there's also a benefit, and it's, again, one of those strange cases where the variance is less impactful than the as-of-right application. So I think that there's a benefit to the town here. With respect to the character of the neighborhood, the Papimango decision, it is pretty clear that the development there was consistent with the character of the neighborhood, and it's, I don't wanna say virtually the same, but it's not much different in the application that's before you. I'd also note, with respect to character of the neighborhood, I think it fits in the theme of what we're saying tonight, is we're gonna have 18.44% of lot coverage where 30 is permitted, right? You can also think about that in a way that if the application's not granted, there's the difference, right? We can add 12% more of lot coverage.
What's allowed, the coverage, 20?
30.
30.
And it's 19 and change on the property next door, so this is less than that. I think, there's no other way to achieve the benefit. The way we can achieve the benefit here would be to subdivide the property and put in 3 the same or larger buildings. So I don't think there's any other way we can do that. I think that same argument holds for substantiality, right? That this is less substantial than our as-of-right application, and this board has to consider the totality of the circumstances, and I think that's a compelling circumstance here. And we turn to the impact on the environment. We went through the secret process, and we have a copy of the neg deck so that we know impact to the environment. And self-created hardship, I've been thinking a lot about that one, right? I think it's more of an anomaly in the code where when they adopted this law, they didn't consider oversized lots, right? So it says building or building complex. So I don't think that was considered. And I say that because I was around when it was adopted. and it was called the big box store law, right? And they were trying to prevent big box stores from coming in.
Home Depot and.
Right, exactly. And so, so I say that there was no consideration by the town board on these oversized lots. So, I think it makes sense to come here to make these presentations, so that the process works. But it seems like a pretty clear case, at least from our end.
Were there parking considerations? I mean, do you have enough?
Yes, yes.
And, because I noticed in the report that came with the declaration that I had in my file, that was addressed. And they had you had plenty of parking.
Yes.
To accommodate. And they had other suggestions, sidewalks and landscaping and other things that
You
they
have
put
to
into.
go back for site plan.
So
Right,
you have to go
all of
back to
that-
them.
All of that will be addressed. I think the one recommendation regarding parking came from the planning staff, that we put enough parking in for special trade contractor use, which there isn't enough space on the east end for those. So we did accommodate that request, which is clearly a benefit to
Right.
us as well.
Right.
But that was the only discussion on parking.
So, I followed everything you said. I know the area well. I live in Hampton Bays. Some of the pictures I got. So, most of the public's impact is going to be the first building they see.
Correct.
What's behind it is really for.
Invisible, basically, yeah.
Almost, right? So, and therefore, whatever in the site plan process that planning board requires, maybe more trees and screening on Montauk Highway, because that's an
Sidewalks, stuff like
issue.
that, yeah.
Some of the things you have pictures of are, 1960s leftovers, right? And one hopes we do it a little bit better today than then. But, I think, what trees get left, Anthony, right, at the, in the site plan process, and I think, most of the case you've made, I find reasonable and compelling, so.
So that was a point of discussion, both the building, which we will go to the architectural review board, we've been once already, and I think we've tweaked it in a way that they found acceptable, and there was some discussion about what we're gonna retain as part of the landscape plan in front.
Yeah.
But there is that plan, if you look at the property next door, there is a, a bed and there is screening there. So that is our plan.
So the only thing you're coming to us for is basically to say, is the 29,000 square feet versus the 15,000, is that it?
Correct, that's it.
And that's it?
And that's the only
No
really.
setbacks, nothing else?
Not yet.
Well,
Just so I could add something so the board knows, when you got this, when we did a pre-application on this and then we sent over comments, we went through a lot of stuff about the size of the variance. But understand, in case there was anything there that concerned, when the planning board does a pre-submission conference, that's an early stage to give them comments on anything and everything to do with the project. And then subsequent to that, they've tweaked it, we went through a whole traffic, analysis and everything else. So, after we get those initials reviewed, there's probably things in there that we say that we've addressed and they're in the process. Certainly, the planning board didn't do a conditional neg deck making any recommendations for change in building size or anything like that. So I
So
think
it's
the
a straight
3-lot
neg-
subdivision with 45,000 square feet is.
Was it a straight neg deck or a conditional?
No, straight.
I don't like the conditional.
Well,
I don't either. They're hard to work
Yeah,
with.
they're hard to work with, right? Because you don't know when you get to the site plan, right? Things change often on site plans. And is it material, not material, wait, there was a condition, and it really hamstrings your ability, because that document follows you. So I think I don't want to speak for Anthony, but
So,
we're doing less. We're doing less of those
all right,
than we
what, do you have
used to.
anything else?
so where are we in the process now? Where,
We have to say that they can do 3
so
buildings.
you need a decision from us to go forward every place
finish,
else?
to do the
Right.
site plan, to
Understood.
get the final
Understood.
whatever.
Okay.
Site plan planning and-
wanted
This
to be
is
clear.
yours, do you have any comments?
So we're gonna-
No, do you have any comments, because I have
I
to
don't.
ask for comments.
I don't.
Anybody else on the board?
No.
It's been a long process.
Secret.
I
With the
know.
planning board.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on, what's the address? 292 West Montauk Highway? Anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this application?
No one.
Is there a revised, like, site plan or anything that we need to be referring to? The last one we have is 2124.
I mean, the site plan part of it, what we're
mean-
requesting hasn't changed.
No, I know, but it's,
I mean,
usually they refer to something, I mean.
Is this it here?
No,
No, that's the,
That's the three buildings.
theoretical subdivision.
Submit it, though.
yeah, submit.
Okay.
You want to close it then? You want to hold it open? Close?
Yes, we want to close it.
Except for written submissions and we get updated
So-
plans.
Close
Okay.
The public hearing, hold it open for written submissions till December 19th, enough time, Dave? Sure. And then with a decision on January 15th.
Second.
Mr. Mastonio.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Torell, nice
Short,
to
it's
meet you.
not short yet.
Number 8 on the agenda, the application of Joseph Frederick Gaza and Blair Catherine Gaza, Scrub Property in Queog, Suffolk County Tax Map numbers 900-359-1-22.1, 26.1, and 900-359-2-9.1 and 10.1.
Really, that kind of money?
Board members.
I don't need to do much.
You're back.
All right, before you start, what are we addressing here?
I'm here to make a short presentation.
All right, yeah, because we're still waiting for all sorts of things. I mean, you know, as far as I know, there's nothing that we can do at this point. You just want to make a short
I want to
presentation?
bring you up to speed, if I may.
That'd be perfect. Bring us up to
Sworn in already?
speed.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So, my name is Joseph Gaz. I live in Quogue on 5 Ogden Lane. If you want me in 2 minutes, I'll bring you right up to speed.
All right,
in case
that would
some
be
of the
good.
members
Thank you. We
feel
could use that.
refreshing.
Okay.
This application before you pertains to a frontage requirement for lots, building lots. The code says each lot has to have 40 feet frontage.
Right.
Okay? And this particular case involves a 6-acre tract of land on an old filed map west of Peters Lane in Quogue that has no frontage at all, okay? The portion of this old filed map, this is what the map looked like in 1909 or 1910. This is what it looks like today. 90% of the map has been reviewed by the planning board, and they created 36 or 37 lots. Mr. Tedaldi developed this 20 years ago, with open space land to protect the headwaters of the Aspetuck Creek. So they did a pretty nice plan, nice development. And at the time, the planning board left a road called Kathy's Way, which was to give access to the remaining 10% of the map, which became Joe Gaza land. So I bought the 10% yellow portion of the map, and I relied on the filed map to
The road.
for the road to develop this. Well, it turned out that the town community preservation department bought several of the Tedaldi lots, and including in the deed, and they took a deed by lots, also by meets and bounds, they went around it, they included the street, which cut off my access.
But you had an easement already, though.
Not yet. Now, I should have, and I argued that with two attorneys for the town representing community preservation, Mary Wilson and Lisa Combrick. We went over that for a couple of years back and forth. I felt that as a street on an approved subdivision map filed in the county clerk,
You can't buy it.
yeah, you can't buy it, or I still have rights over it, unless the street was abandoned, which it was not formally abandoned. So, that argument went for a couple of years and to no success. Fighting two female attorneys was very difficult even for me. So,
Oh, please.
Right here.
That's the wrong argument,
Yeah.
but keep going.
You've just lost me. And Helen. And
So-
Katie.
So, I retracted.
Okay, thank you.
I retract. And I retracted from my application with the planning board. I says, I'll have to get different access now that I lost my access in, which led me to the Nukowitz deal. Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
This entire piece was the 6 acres that I owned. It's in a 1 acre zone. But when I lost the access coming in and I became landlocked, I made a deal with Mr. Nukowitz and exchanged this parcel of land for a 30-foot all-purpose easement for access, utilities, et cetera. And when that was accomplished, I got back before the planning board, because now I had the marbles in the bag to do the application. But the planning board, they got a little tough. They said, we think that this is, environmentally sensitive property, and it is, because it does border the Aspetuck Creek. And they said, we want to see some protection. And what you're proposing, Mr. Gaza, which was a 5-lot, yeah, 1, 2, 3, a 5-lot map, they felt that was a bit too much. And then the planning board realized that one of the 5 lots was actually less than 40,000 square feet, and they said, we can't approve a lot less than 40,000 square feet anyway.
Hadn't you already given that lot?
Yeah, but I was involved with Mr. Nukowitz in a joint application to divide this into the 5 building lots.
Okay.
So Mr. Nukowitz's lot became nixed because it wasn't 40,000 square feet.
Okay.
He didn't have development rights. Planning board said, we can't entertain an application to make a lot without the right tools. So that brings me down to 4 lots, which was before the planning board. And that was an application that I made 5 years ago. I paid the $2,600 fee, just let me have 4 lots. And as an inducement, I offered to place a conservation easement on I think it's about 1.75 acres, with the Aspetuck Creek, and it backs up the neighbors on the other side of the street. I thought that was gonna be the carrot to get this application going with the planning board. And I put the conservation easement on it, so it's protected, okay? Go back to planning board. Planning board said, yeah, maybe you should sell this land to community preservation. So I said, I'll entertain that. I'm a business person. I don't have to develop it. I can sell it. I went to community preservation, okay? 1.5 years, they declined to purchase the property, okay? Their reason? The access. They said, yes, you have a 30-foot all-purpose easement, but we don't like the way that the access easement is worded. And I said, but the access easement was provided to me by the planning board. It's their form. I used the planning board.
Looking at me every time. It's not even my application, I should clear this up.
I don't care, you've got the planning board across your front.
So they won't buy it. And I tried, and they're not buying it, okay?
They're the ones that took away your easement in the first place.
The town took away the easement, the community preservation won't buy it, but I do have a 30-foot easement to come in. So the chairwoman of the planning board was kind of adamant. She says, I think they should buy it. I said, let them buy it. She says, go back to them again. And I went back several times. They're not buying it. Okay? So now I'm back at the planning board. I'm saying, look, it's been 5.5 years since I made the application. Community preservation is not buying it. I started out with 5 lots. I'm asking for 4. They comply with every section of the zoning code. If they're 40,000 square feet, they're under the old map law, they're in compliance. They got the setbacks. They got the 250 feet for the sanitary system, the 100-foot unvegetated, the 100-foot non-disturbance buffer. They got the 125-foot building setback. Conservation Board approved, DEC approved, town trustees was involved, health department is ready to sign off, but they won't sign off until the planning board stamps the map. I've been to everybody. I thought I had this. Nope, didn't get it. At the last section of the planning board meeting, we're going back about 11 months, when I thought I had it, the planning board said, you know, you have to have 40 feet frontage for each lot under our code. I said, well, I have the easement coming in with a road going down. No, that's not 40 feet frontage. Go to zoning board. I made the application, I did this December of 2024. Okay? I made the application, it was a little complicated. Katie said, you know, we're gonna need a map without all these lines and everything. Just show us your 4 pieces of land, make it simple.
Remind me, what are we waiting on?
Yeah, Joe, where are we today?
Yeah, this is, we've heard,
We've
this
heard
is,
this before.
we've heard this all.
Okay,
We're all up
Not
to
to cut you off.
Planning board said, 4 lots, not gonna go.
No, but wait, hold on.
No, he's, our last meeting, he's talking about our last meeting that you guys have not.
Okay,
Tell us what
awesome.
happened at the last meeting.
We've coordinated SECR, we're waiting for the planning board to give us, planning board is lead agency, we're waiting for determination. Joe brings this to the planning board to get a determination, and Joe.
For secret, on secret.
Correct.
Okay, and so what happened?
The chairwoman of the planning board said, you know, we determined that this is a potential,
Like a negative impact.
but it was, originally it was type 2. They had by resolution called this a type 2 because it was just a rearrangement of property lines.
Why is it potentially a negative?
No, let me reword that.
It's not
Originally, it was classified as a type 2 action. The planning board has reclassified this new proposal as an unlisted action.
Okay.
Okay. So when classifying it as unlisted, put the brakes on your board, because you can't act on it now. That's a little debatable too. I read my sequel. I think you have the opportunity, but I don't want to fight with anybody anymore in this. 5.5 years was enough. I said to the planning board at the last meeting, I said, you know what? You win. I'll take 3 lots. And I'll not only give you the 1 3/4 acres, I'm gonna throw in another acre, because I'm only gonna get 3 lots anyway. So now, you're gonna have 3.5 acres forever preserved. I'm gonna get 3 1-acre lots. I'm gonna reduce the density. Let's put this to sleep. I've had it a long time, been through a lot of boards, a lot of applications.
So it's potentially an unlisted action, which means that, but it's not determined to be that yet.
No, it is. I think the
It
planning board,
is?
yeah.
Is that basically where we are?
It is an unlisted action. I mean, Joe disputes that, but it isn't, it has been classified.
Oh,
We
it
have
has
coor-
been.
We have coordinated. The planning board in, what is the date, Joe? January 22nd, the planning board, we're hoping, is gonna give us a secret determination so that we can act. Joe has now, in hopes of speeding it up, Joe's reduced the yield to 3, hoping that the planning board will say, that's a negative declaration, we'll adopt a negative declaration.
And assuming we hear that, what is it that, Joe, you need from us?
I need a variance from the requirement of 40-foot street
To
frontage.
0 feet.
For 3 lots.
Yeah, which we.
For 3 lots rather than
Yes.
4.
Which we have addressed in the past.
Yes.
Right, okay.
And he has
So-
an easement, but not road access,
Right,
road
we've had,
frontage.
we've.
Right,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
yeah, the request is still the same.
Well, it's reduced.
Well, it's gonna be reduced as to the number of lots.
Correct.
But same 0.
What are you gonna do with the 4th lot?
Giving it to the town.
Giving it to the town. Okay.
I'm gonna preserve another
I'm sorry, I
acre
went to
of
the
my land.
restroom, so I may have missed some stuff.
He took the buffer zone and he extended it so that the lots are.
What do we need to do for tonight?
Nothing.
Okay, so.
You could.
Yeah,
No, we're
well,
not
thank you for the
talking
update.
Okay, I'm not gonna go there,
Okay.
but you're up to speed.
So we're holding you open.
Okay.
We're holding you open till February
And everyone got a copy of this map?
2/19, yes.
No, we
Probably
don't
not.
have that.
Hold on.
We do not have that.
No, unless you submitted, remember Candace had asked you.
Yeah, didn't our daughter Blair bring it in? She brought you 1 print, she gave prints to Candace?
It could be, Candace has been out, so we
All
don't.
right, you know what, I will give you this print, and I will have more prints.
Just get them to Candace.
No, we don't need it.
Yeah, yeah,
If you
if you gave it to
to
Canvas
us,
already, then we'll get it.
Yeah, we're not
we're
gonna
not
do
doing
anything
anything with-
until after planning board acts, so just, you have some time to submit it to us.
And when
But
is
thank you
planning
for
board
your
expected to have
Very clear explanation, and now we're
Thank
all
you.
up to speed, and we know that this can, for us, it's the variance on the frontage.
Thank you.
40 feet to 0 feet, and that's it,
That's all it
on
is.
3 lots.
I'm going to move to hold the
Wait,
public.
wait.
Wait, we need to,
See if there's anybody here. Okay.
is anybody here?
Is there anyone in the audience who
On this?
wishes to be heard on
Just a gentleman here, yes.
scrub property?
Scrub property.
Okay,
There's a couple of people online too, so.
okay.
My name's Kevin Moynihan, 11 Peters Lane.
Okay, Kevin, did I swear you in before
In the past?
On this
on
application.
this application?
Here.
No, I was
All right.
here at the last one.
Are you an
but-
attorney?
No,
Let me swear you in. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Please state your name and
Kevin
address.
Moynihan.
All right, so Kevin, you know that we're not making any
Yeah,
decisions
that's
tonight.
fine.
And you know that the only thing that the zoning board is gonna address is the frontage. Okay. Okay,
We've heard arguments that, from neighbors, that this is going to detrimentally affect an environmentally sensitive
I'm
area.
very tired with this whole thing, so I'm not gonna sit here and waste a lot of time.
Please, something
I'm
new,
really
fresh
not.
and
I'm
new.
just, what he's asking and what he's asking from you guys, the concerns are just, for emergency vehicle purposes and stuff like that. I won't get into the compounding development of the property and the fact that it
If you're not gonna get into it, don't get into it.
the fact that
Say what you
we're
want.
at this point is ridiculous, and I'll leave it at that. But there are concerns, as to what he's asking for. I don't know what the precedent is that you guys have set in the past with other,
we have
decisions.
dealt with things
You know.
similar to this, because there are properties that are landlocked and don't have the kind of access, and people, feel, and people have a right to develop them. And so we do give some
That's a
consideration.
question. That's a loaded question right there, but.
Well, okay, but, there's a difference of
understand.
opinion on that, but, whatever. But, all right, so your concern is that the access is not sufficient. Okay.
My property butts up to a portion of what it is, and it's more, if there's a fire in one of those houses, it's gonna affect me personally.
A fire in one of the houses he's developing?
Yeah.
And planning does all that, we don't get involved in the
Yeah,
access.
I know. I'm here just because to follow the trail that he leaves, it's insane. So I have to keep up on this, as you're gonna hear from about 15 other people that probably
Okay,
wanna talk.
all right,
but
thank you, Kevin.
I don't wanna waste any more of your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the audience? Okay, who's on Zoom?
2 people.
Okay,
Oh, thank God, it's not 15.
There are 15 people watching, there's only 2 that have enough coverage.
okay. Hi,
Hi.
are you an attorney?
No, I am not.
Okay, did I swear you? I haven't sworn you in before, right? I don't think so.
Yes, you have.
Oh, I have, okay. Go ahead, please say your name and address.
Hi, my name is Regina McGuire Moynihan, 11 Peters Lane. Kevin Moynihan is my husband. I just wanted to address the talking points of the substantial nature of the request that Mr. Gaza is asking in seeking to reduce the required frontage from 40 feet to 0. That's an extreme variance. It is not going after and saying, I want to reduce it to 10, I want to reduce it to 20. It's saying going from 40 to 0. That is far beyond what's considered the minimum necessary deviation. So that's one concern. The frontage requirements are really about emergency access. As a person who had to have emergency access this summer due to an accident, I'm very concerned that if somebody has an accident back there, it'll be extremely difficult, and it'll be limited, and it will complicate utility and maintenance service as well. The functionally landlocked lots were landlocked when they were procured. The surrounding area consists of lots that meet or approximate the 40-foot standard, and this proposal would introduce an atypical, dense, and irregular pattern not aligned with the district currently. And the overlay district allows flexibility, not the elimination of essential safety standards. The I think that, well, there are reasonable alternatives, but I just don't think that we've explored them. And this is also a negative precedent that sets precedent in this situation where people could easily request zero frontage variances. And it's really opposed to the effective long-term planning integrity, which the town has really sought to try to move forward with. A lot of us live in pre-existing non-conforming homes, but they were built a long time ago. And there's a reason why rules were put in place, especially reopening field maps from 1910, which pre-existed prior to the 1938 hurricane, is really not the most astute way to go forward. This is more of an applicant benefit, maximizing lot count. It's not a community, it's a community detriment, and it's compromised safety, inconsistent density, and future access issues. And I believe that the detriment outweighs the benefit. So I just wanted to go on record saying that. Thank you.
Gina. Is there somebody else on Zoom?
Yes.
Would it be appropriate to have Mr. McGuire note where he lives on the map so that the board would know?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
We're fine. We're good.
Hi, are you an attorney?
Yes, I am.
Okay, please state your name and address.
Irma Eagleton, 9 Peters Lane in West Hampton Beach, 11978.
Okay.
Thank you for hearing me and allowing me to speak tonight. I just want to say I'm in strong opposition to Mr. Gaza's request, and I would ask that you deny it. I understand that there are rights of a home or a landowner to develop their land. He's actually using that map from 19, whatever it is, before I could even vote. And there's been so much that has changed in this world, our wetlands acts, the way our development was in my community and my street, which Mr. Gaza is not a neighbor, he's a landowner in the back. Every one of my neighbors that I've talked to, and there are many of them, oppose this. There's not one single person that supports this that I know of. And I would just strongly encourage you, I guess the request he's making to have zero frontage, the limited issue, I guess, in front of you tonight, I would ask that you just deny that. It's not consistent with the character of the neighborhood. We all have frontage, we have requirements, and I think the town has them for a very good reason, and I understand their variances, but I think by giving him that, there's so many problems that will come from that in creating what he wants to create back there. At least from my perspective, I share in my neighbor's concerns of getting a fire truck back there or getting an emergency vehicle. I'm also concerned with the drainage in the area. Right now in front of my house, every time it rains, there's a pool that comes up. There's on the land kind of adjacent to that on the South County Road, which is on his map, and down by the Montauk Highway, that is always subject to some kind of flooding whenever it rains. I'm concerned with what the development of the land back there, which part of it is on that either adjacent to wetlands or wetlands, part of it itself, on the headwaters of the Aspetuck River there. I'm concerned with how that will affect my home.
Okay.
And so I just would ask that you deny this, and I reiterated all the arguments I've made in every meeting that I've attended to oppose this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And so that you know, water that's on a property has to stay on a property, and there has to be a proper drainage, and I'm sure planning will be looking at that, correct? As well, so, and the town engineer is gonna be looking at that. So it's not something, whatever water is created on your property stays on your property.
In response, the town engineer has already approved a private access common driveway sufficient and adequate for the 3 homes, the 4 homes actually, as well as the West Hampton Beach Fire District. They have approved the fire department's access, they've located the hydrant, the houses can be served by public water and a fire hydrant within reaching distance in case there's a fire. Everybody has been through this. If the neighbors don't want houses behind on the wooded property, why don't you all get together and buy it? You know?
All right, is there anybody else on Zoom who wishes to be heard?
There's one more.
Okay.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, are you an attorney?
I'm not.
Okay, have I sworn you in before? I don't think so.
You haven't.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, please state your name and address.
My name's Ryan Krebs. I live at 55 Peters Lane.
Okay, Brian, you know what, we're limiting our discussion to.
Agreed. I haven't had the opportunity to participate in previous meetings, so I just wanted to voice my opinion. I appreciate everybody's time, so I'll make sure this is quick. So with respect to Mr. Gaz's request, I think there are a few major points that we should consider. First and foremost is general environmental harm to the area. I think there happens to be a lack of infrastructure, so reiterating Irma's point on some of the flooding and pooling water that could get worse. I think there are conflicts proposed in the building use. Mr. Gaz has previously stated that this could benefit other residents from an affordable housing standpoint. On the other end, he said it could increase the value of properties. So it seems like there's some inconsistencies there with argument. I also, would generally like to ask a hypothetical question or a rhetorical question of, who does this benefit ultimately? So to my prior points, if we build these houses and we ruin wetland and we ruin the woods behind all of our houses, what ultimately happens to the wildlife, what happens to the environment and that area, and then what dangers does it pose to the existing homeowners if those houses are put on that land?
Well, this is all part of the SECRA considerations, which the planning board is responsible for, and they will be, when is the date on that? It's January 22nd. They're going to be taking SECRA action on that, and that's what they address. They address all of these, the environmental, whatever, so, and they, right. Yeah, so that hopefully will be taken care of or considered by the planning board. We're here on a very limited basis, so.
But am I incorrect in assuming that, should we move forward at this stage, if you were to deny this request, that it wouldn't move forward to the other approval areas?
We're not going to deal with it until the other areas come to us,
The
come back to
sequence is
us.
flipped.
That's first.
That's first.
Okay.
And if they have a positive declaration and they find problems with it or whatever, then, puts off us making a decision.
They're gonna address the emergency vehicle access, all the,
Right,
all that
right.
stuff that you're addressing, they're gonna address that before they make a recommendation to us.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to voice my
Yeah, I know,
opinion.
it's
opposition.
complicated, and I understand it, it's not
Joe,
always
you
clear.
have wetlands, you don't, you do?
I have wetlands.
You have wetlands,
I have the right setbacks.
Okay.
As most of my neighbors do not. And I have 17 feet to groundwater.
All right, okay,
We're
all right.
gonna deal with the wetlands part of the subdivision process.
Okay, right. Okay,
Okay.
thank you,
Well,
Mr. Krebs.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Is there one more person?
You gotta come up by the mic.
I don't know why you don't want to stay.
We're actually all very lovely people.
Show us where you are on the map. I wanna know. Are you the lot
No,
with
no,
the two
no, we're
houses
not,
and 1/2
please,
acre
please.
lot?
Okay, please, please.
your
Allow
last
him to
statement.
speak and then let's move on.
I just want to know that on January 22nd, this is going to go in.
No, they're going
Talk to
planning.
Anthony.
To the
Planning,
planning
not
board.
us.
I know. But is that an open hearing or is that
Talk
like
to
a
Anthony.
meeting or
Anthony's
whatever?
the planning board.
Okay.
Talk to Anthony. He'll
So
tell you
I just
everything
wanna
you need to
All
know.
right, thank you.
I just want to know where I have to be on the
Anthony,
22nd.
January 22nd, is it an open meeting?
All our meetings are open, but it's not a public hearing. The public does not get to speak at our meetings. You get to speak at a public hearing.
Can they attend?
Of course they can
Yes.
attend,
Is it in-
but they're not gonna
is
be
it in
allowed
here
to
or no?
speak.
Is it in
What?
here?
It's in here.
Okay.
Mr. McGuire.
All right,
No,
wait.
no, 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 no,
we're
no,
gonna
no, no,
close
no,
this.
no, 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 Joe,
Push your
come on.
luck. You
holding
already
this
did it
open.
with the
Okay.
female
Hold on.
attorneys, don't
Let's-
push your
let's-
luck.
Till 2/19,
Second,
All right, wait a second. What was the
February
recommendation?
19th, we're holding open the public hearing.
All right, we're going to adjourn this till February 19th.
John second.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane. Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, thank you. Number 9 on the agenda, application of Jennifer Giannotti Jenis, 62 Kyle Road, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-296-1-30.
Is there anybody on Zoom on this?
No one has their hand up.
Huh? No?
Oh, actually, I think this person doesn't have their hand up, but they're chatting.
Todd
Hold on.
O'Connell, maybe?
Yeah, that's it.
him. Is this not what it says?
I don't see.
It's now attached to garage. Great. Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
Okay.
Make it go back.
Okay. hi.
Okay, thank you. Can you all see me there?
Yes. All
Okay.
right. I've sworn you in before, right?
Yes, you have.
All right, just restate your name and address, please.
Absolutely. It's Todd O'Connell, architect, doing business at 1200 Veterans Highway, Hop Hog, New York.
Okay. All right, so you've been here before, Todd. What's new?
Okay, so we were there for a detached garage in a front yard. We had some discussions about the detached garage. So I approached my client, and although it's going to cost a little bit more money for her to do so, she decided that she would attach the garage to the house, which would then allow a much greater front yard setback without having to diminish the size of the garage itself. Now, we drove around the neighborhood. I submitted 2 photographs of other houses that are in the immediate area of 2-car garages. So you can see it meets the character of the neighborhood. It ends up being where originally we were proposing a front yard setback of 26.45. We've now added over 10 feet more setback. So now the setback to the garage would be 37.4.
Yep.
In addition to that, it was suggested at the meeting that they would like to see that the garage that I would propose would stay in line or behind the adjacent building to the south, or the adjacent residence to the south, which it is. We are actually approximately 3 feet further from the street than where the neighboring property is. So, unfortunately, it means we have to do a little bit more work in the house, moving windows and things inside the house to make this happen. But the client was willing to do this, so she didn't have to negotiate the size of a garage, and she could still keep both cars in the garage. So that's the main change that's before you. And I guess, I feel it's a much better application because it is giving a much more front yard setback. There is, precedent in the neighborhood for other homes with 2-car garages, specifically 18 Harvard Drive, which the 2-car garage is on the street corner side as well. And that's what we've changed here. So we were hoping to have your comments and see if this is, a good direction.
Okay, Kevin, this is yours. Do
It
you want to
is.
start?
So we had a nice chat, made a few suggestions. You addressed them all as were in the subject of the conversation, and I'm reasonably satisfied with what has been presented back to us.
It
Thank you.
looks like it aligns itself with the house.
Right.
It aligns itself with the neighbor's house.
Yep.
It's just a few feet off of the required setback now.
Yeah.
So I think that, it was a responsive reaction, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter? Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard on 62 Kyle Road?
No one.
All right, Kevin?
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to close the hearing on Jennifer Giannotti, is it Jenis or Jeans? How does
Jeans.
Jeans. At 62 Kyle Road. Close the hearing with comments accepted up until 12:19 with the decision on 1:15.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia? Mr. Rephen?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Good night. Happy holidays.
Same to you all.
Okay, number 10 on the agenda, UNA Riverhead Realty LLC, 7 Peconic Avenue, Riverside, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-118-2-4.
Okay.
How'd you get last?
I think we were almost first last time,
That's
so
it.
I
Got
guess,
punished.
Flip.
I guess that's karma or something.
Yeah, that's karma. And I've sworn you in,
Yeah, good evening,
but
folks.
just please restate your name.
First name is spelled A-H-M-E-R.
H-M-E-R.
Last name is I-L-A-H-I.
I-L-H.
A-H-I.
A-H-I, sorry.
Lahi?
It's a long night. And Susanna?
Susanna Herman and Consultants. This is a continuation from October 16th. I sent over a letter today. I don't know if anyone saw that.
We saw it tonight.
Yes.
Okay. I also have copies of a proposal from a contractor for lowering the height of the sign.
Oh,
So
that I don't see.
that I don't think I submitted. I have a bunch of copies of that as well. I can hand these out.
Okay, give them to Katie.
I stapled it to the letter you already have. So. You. I think I have 8 copies there. So as I think we picked up on the main concerns that the board had at the last meeting. Primarily, the two easiest things to get rid of are the smaller signs on that freestanding sign, the one that says Food Mart and the one that says Lotto/ATM. Those would be popped out. And then the inserts would be removed. The sign would be cut in height, the post would be cut in height, and so the total height would be reduced from 17 foot 8 inches to 12 foot 6 inches. What?
I'm sorry, I was liking that, actually, so I was doing that out loud.
He was like,
so
"Oh."
sorry. Sorry about that.
He was just thinking out loud, okay.
He's thinking, that's great. The planning department's
thing.
gonna love that.
See, you have an audio track for your presentation.
Anthony's had a night.
We all have.
Getting myself, it's past my bedtime. Well, not quite.
Tell us about
It
it.
feels like it's past my bedtime. So the proposal that I passed up for Pinnacle Pump and Tank, which was from last week, there's 3 things on here. One, we have to do, the building department has required that the sign be made to comply with the
Dark sky.
wind.
Oh, wind, yes, that's right,
Needs to be
yep.
hurricane-proof, 130
Right.
mile per hour, which means that they need to do new footings. That's gonna cost $5,000. And then lowering the sign and cutting off the posts to get to 12 foot 6, that's gonna cost $5,000. If they were to replace the sign completely with all new supports and everything, that would cost $52,000 plus. So we really don't wanna do that.
Right.
So I think this is
so
a
it-
very happy compromise.
So it would be 10,000 total.
Correct.
Okay.
Including retrofitting it to be hurricane-proof
Right.
and lowering it.
Right.
On the dispensers themselves, I don't know if you remember it, but it's in the pictures, there's a round, it's called a bug on the top of the dispenser that says 76. Let me show you that picture real quick. That would be removed. So you have these pictures.
The bubble?
The big thing, the circle at the top would be
Okay.
just popped off. And this is considered by the building department a sign as well. That would be replaced with just a solid, this would be solid orange at the bottom of the dispenser.
Gotcha.
And the 76 at the top would be removed. I think at the last meeting, we went over all the reasons that we can't move the sign and that it's in a pre-existing location, it's not blocking anything. So I won't reiterate any of
Yes, no,
that.
we all agreed, yeah.
And we also reviewed the letter that we were handed that night from Riverhead. I think that was perhaps generated as sort of a compound issue with other things happening in the immediate vicinity. Nevertheless, we felt we wanted to address their 5 concerns that they raised. One was about dark sky compliant lighting. They've recently, I think just this year, a couple weeks ago, they've replaced the lighting with energy efficient, dark sky compliant lighting on the premises.
PSCG Long Island approved lighting, correct?
So I think that's a valid concern that's been addressed. There's fencing around the entire property as a deterrent for crime. There's surveillance cameras, which is one of the suggestions. Those are already there. And I don't know if there's a way to make this pre-existing gas station from 1957 look less commercial, given its location.
Given its status as a commercial property.
I mean, when the sign is redone, that area will be re-landscaped. I'm sure they'll do a very.
I think also removing some of the 76 things and everything else, it's definitely going to tone it down.
I think so too. I think it's a good compromise to make it look like a nice gas station, and that's what it is. Also, there was a mention about window signs and a clear sign of light from the
Right,
interior.
but that was also a crime thing,
Right.
as I recall,
And
yeah.
there's no window signs.
Okay,
There's a clear line
no
of sight.
neon in the windows.
There's a clear line of sight.
Okay, good.
On all sides where the windows are.
Okay, because I know that was a
Yeah,
concern.
windows,
Well, that's important for your safety as well.
Of course, and as I said, I mean, I take the safety of myself and my employees. That's the utmost thing, you know, everything else comes secondary. You know.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, yeah.
That property next door is still for sale, right?
Oh, yeah, the one with the, yeah, I believe so, yeah.
3 buildings on it, right?
Susanna, what variances are eliminated
That was that
by
auto player,
fixing the 76s?
He owns all 3 buildings.
That was, you mean on the dispensers themselves?
Whatever, like I'm looking at the write-up for this, and I've crossed off the Food Mart and the Lotto, and I've adjusted the height. What other variances were eliminated by the logo bus or whatever you're talking about?
I don't think it was on the notice. On our application, we had requested an interpretation from the building inspector that these were signage.
Okay.
This is Kenny.
I think Anthony.
You've had a lot of illumination things written up in the variance. Is that covered by the dark skies compliance? You know,
Well,
you
it's a
see all
logo
those
on the
illumination
canopy.
They're asking for variances for them,
Yeah.
so they're not covered by dark skies.
Oh, all
They're-
right,
So the
okay.
canopy, as we stated in the previous hearing, is a replacement for the previous canopy that was exactly the same, but was a previous franchise. Last time, it was,
The canopy has always been there, at least as far as I've been
and
there.
that has, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Sure, it's okay.
That has planning board approval and has a certificate of compliance from 2021, I think. So all we've done is change that to 76 from the previous franchise that was there. So the canopy, I don't think it's an issue. The building department is making us come to you because it's different, but it's the same dimensions,
Same canopy.
same canopy. It's just the facade wrap of the canopy that has changed, and that was previously illuminated as well.
Okay.
So what are we looking at that we need now? Like what variances are we approving? What's left?
We're still asking for all the same variances, except for the Lotto and Food Mart signs, those are being eliminated. And the variance for the height of the sign is reduced.
So you just want 2 feet 6 inches of relief.
Correct. 10 is required in this district. I think if we were across the street, it would be 12 feet.
And I've spoken to the contractor, that he feels this is the max that he could do. Can't go any lower than that, unfortunately.
Right, by lowering it 5 feet, we're actually only gonna be about a foot off the ground at the bottom. And they need that for the electrical conduit. So we can't put it on the ground, it won't be visible, and it won't work.
What about the internal illumination?
Of
Like
the
something-
sign?
Yeah, something LED.
Oh, the gas prices are LED.
Okay, and those
Yeah.
stay on all the time?
Those stay on all the time.
Okay.
Those are changed automatically through an app as opposed to the old-fashioned ones that were
You
changed.
gotta go manually out and change it.
Right.
Yeah,
Is it, you're open 24 hours?
Yes, we are. And those are very low wattage compared to if, the prior where you actually have
Light
an
bulbs,
8
the
full
fluorescent bulbs in the
fluorescent
back.
bulb where there a lot of light going out there. I believe it was in the package where it shows the wattage is very low wattage with the LEDs, so.
They're more energy efficient, it's safer for the operator. There was actually an incident where
You had to go up on a ladder, change them.
ended up in the hospital.
Right, okay.
Five surgeries later, so.
So you want the internally illuminated logo on the canopy signs?
Yes.
I'm fine with it. I know that circle very well.
And then internally
But the
illuminated,
stipulation being that the LED
Stays.
stays. Right,
We're asking that all the illumination that's currently there stay.
okay.
And that requires a variance for the LED, for the sign being illuminated.
so keep all current illumination, allow LED price sign. And then we've removed Lotto and Food Mart,
We've lowered it.
and you've lowered it, okay.
We've lowered it 5 feet.
And you're gonna make it hurricane-proof?
Correct.
Required. Okay. And you're taking off the 76 stuff?
Off the dispensers.
Off the pumps, yeah.
They're
Okay.
called bugs.
Okay, so essentially it looks
But
like
those
all
were never
the
part of, those weren't, you
illuminations
didn't
stay.
request that.
They were on my application.
Oh,
In the-
okay.
In the last section of the application, under interpretation from the building inspector. If you look at the actual
Okay,
original
okay.
application, it may have been missed when the notice was written up because it's, there's a blank page between there because we're not asking for a use variance.
Okay, so you're withdrawing the request for the bugs and for the pump signs?
Correct.
Okay. Good, this is nice.
All right, anybody on the,
He's happy.
all right, anybody else on the board that wishes to make a comment? Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to be heard on this application, 7 Peconic Avenue?
No one.
Okay, Robert.
Hold on a second. Go ahead, Suzanne.
I was just gonna say that this has been sent to, for referral to the planning board, and it's on the agenda Tuesday,
Oh, Thursday, next Thursday.
next Thursday. Why did I say Tuesday? So it's on for Thursday.
Close here, hold, wait for you?
That's,
I don't know what they're gonna do, I mean, they're a wild card.
I've really taken the.
Be
brunt of
careful,
the
he's been yelling at people tonight.
I've been all over. Listen, Claire, this is Claire's project, so I'm not going to speak for anybody, but it is going before the planning board. What would you,
Katie, what do we normally do?
What would you normally do?
Can we approve, can we make a decision without planning board having acted yet?
Well, no, it's a referral report.
Yeah,
The
so-
the worst case, the worst thing that's gonna happen, which probably will happen, is that the planning board will say, the sign should comply. That's typically what they say with signs. I mean, that's typically what they
And
say.
then it's back to us.
It's back to you no matter what. You can, listen, you
Close
can,
it, that can be
if
written
you,
sub.
if you're okay with this, you can close it, knowing that they may say they hate all of the signs. They may say that they hate all of the signs, and then you would make Susanna come back and have this conversation that you're having right now. So it's, we don't act without it, we're gonna get a referral report. It's just whether or not you wanna discuss the referral report with the applicant, or whether you're satisfied with the modifications that have been made.
Yeah.
I think written subs is fine, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, I think written subs are fine too.
Helen?
I'm not sure on that. I mean, because if you're saying that the planning board is gonna have, you know, may have some issues with this, you know, just getting the referral letter back may not be enough. We may have to reopen it, or we may have to hear it at that point.
I guess, Susan, I just want to understand what new would we discuss?
Well, they may say you've got to do X, Y, and Z, which may affect the variance. that
Well,
we-
no.
They're gonna make, they wouldn't say do X, Y, I mean, they would, at the best, they would say, planning board finds, would recommend that they do X, Y, and Z.
And then
That
it's
you
up to
would
us to
condition it.
decide
Then it would be
whether or not we
completely
do it.
on you, if whether or not you agree or don't.
Yeah,
It's
they're just
only
telling us what their
24
thoughts
sign.
are. They're not telling us what we have to do.
All right, so you feel comfortable
Yeah.
closing the
Yeah.
hearing and,
We know exactly what the signs are gonna be.
I think it's
It's gonna be the same presentation before them, right?
well, it seems
Unless
like-
there's something that comes out that's like so like
Susanna's gonna be at the
unbelievable.
meeting next week, I'm assuming, paying attention and
Now
everything.
that I
So
know
if-
it's Thursday, I'll be there.
That's true, we're glad we'll see you.
Tuesday.
We're never on Tuesday.
Hold it open for written submissions until December 19th with a decision on January 15th.
All right,
Second.
so- All right, so, and let me just get that down. So written to December 19th with a decision January 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane. Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy
You
holidays.
guys a happy New Year? You too.
So,
Have a good one.
See ya, Anthony.
If he is, maybe we have to. Okay, are we up to decisions?
Yes, we are.
Okay, let's see, who's first? Helen, who would like to read Helen's?
You're the one that has them, Susan.
I will read Helen's, okay. I have a decision in LKE South Beach LLC, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-177-4-20. This application is for property located at 352 St. Andrews Road West, Shinnecock Hills. Applicant seeks a variance for a 0-foot road frontage on an existing lot that will take access over easements to St. Andrews Road West. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from Town Code Section 330-82, lot width for a road frontage of 0 feet, where 40 feet is required for a proposed one-family dwelling on a non-conforming lot, as shown on the survey prepared by Jeffrey W. Hatterer, LS Twin Forks Land Survey, and last revised February 5th, 2021. Grant of the foregoing is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired, may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. King. Aye. Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. I have another Helen decision. It's TBD South Beach LLC, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-177-4-21. This application is for property located at 350 St. Andrews Road West, Shinnecock Hills. Applicant seeks a variance for a 0-foot road frontage on a pre-existing lot that will take access over easements to St. Andrews Road West. This application passes the standards set forth in the New York State Town Law and the Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from Town Code Section 330-82, lot width for a road frontage of 0 feet, where 40 feet is required for a proposed one-family dwelling on a non-conforming lot, as shown on the survey prepared by Jeffrey W. Hatterer, LS Twin Forks Land Survey, last revised September 25th, 2020. Grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. King. Aye. Mr. Macedonia. Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, Bob, you're next.
Okay, we are on to decision.
What to do, yeah.
Okay, it's not
What we
What
do.
We Do LLC, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-158-1-29. This application is for property located at 471 County Road 39, Tuckahoe. Applicant seeks variances for a sign in a pre-existing location for a non-medical cannabis dispensary. with screening implemented at the recommendation of the planning board. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State town law and town code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of town code to legalize a freestanding dual-pole sign constructed without the benefit of building permit on a non-conforming lot, town code 330-162-26M7, non-medical cannabis dispensary. Signage to allow the sign to be located 187.1 feet from the school grounds property located on the northwest side and 238.7 feet from the school grounds property located on the north side, where a minimum distance of 500 feet is required, respectively. Town Code 330-205B, 1 and 2, general provisions, freestanding signs, including pole and monument signs, to allow the sign to be located on a property with the building located 31.9 feet from the front property line, where the entire building setback shall be 40 feet or more from the property line. 2, to allow the sign to be located 12.7 feet from the front property line, where a minimum setback of 20 feet from all property lines is required. All as shown in the site plan prepared by Sean Leonard, resident architect, last revised October 28, 2025, and signed plan stamped by G. Murdoch, professional engineer, dated September 4, 2025, and signed sketch prepared by Sean Leonard, dated October 16, 2005. The grant of relief is subject to such other conditions as permit applicant has therefore acquired or may otherwise be necessary, including installation and maintenance of any screening, vegetative and/or fencing, as may be required by the planning board. And 2, illumination of the sign must comply with the town code.
Second.
Mr. Mastroni?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
No.
Mr. Rapin?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, next is Julie.
Good. Susan Rogers Grun Legacy Trust et al., Suffolk County Town Map 922-1-16. This application is for property located at 455 Middle Line Highway, Noyak. Applicant requests relief to construct a proposed house and pool on a shallow, non-conforming lot. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State town law and the town code. Therefore, this board grants the following relief from Town Code Section 330-6, General Regulations that references, and Section 330-11, Residence District Tables of Dimensional Regulations for 1, a principal front yard setback of 50 feet where 100 feet is required for a proposed one-family dwelling, and 2, an accessory distance from front lot line setback of 57.1, where 110 feet is required for a proposed pool, as shown on the survey prepared by Tamara L. Stillman, LS of LKMA, dated July 2025, and the floor plans and elevations prepared by Jeffrey Sands, RA, dated June 30, 2025, and July 1, 2025. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicants have already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia?
Aye.
Mr. Rapin?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye. Okay, I have a decision in the application of Danellis Realty 2 LLC, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-113-1-8. This application is for property located at 10 Schwanks Road, Watermill. Applicant requests relief to legalize the conversion of an accessory building into an accessory apartment. While this board does not condone construction done without permits, it does find that the application passes the standards set forth in New York State town law and the town code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the town code to legalize an accessory apartment constructed in a detached building without the benefit of a building permit. 1, Town Code Section 330-11.2F Special Standards. For the dwelling, a front yard setback of 25.2 feet where a minimum of 56 feet is required, 70% of the required 80 feet. For the accessory building apartment, an accessory side yard setback of 7.4 feet where a minimum of 21 feet is required, 70% of the required 30 feet. An accessory rear yard setback of 5.2 feet where a minimum of 21 feet is required. For the detached garage, an accessory side yard setback of 0 feet where a minimum of 21 feet is required, 70% of the required 30 feet. And to allow an accessory apartment to be located on a property with a lot area of 23,284 square feet where a minimum of 64,000 square feet is required, 80% of the required 80,000 square feet. All is shown on the survey prepared by Jeffrey W. Haderer LS, last revised November 7, 2025, and the floor plans and elevations prepared by Cass Calder Smith, R.A., issued January 10, 2024. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including that, 1, the applicant and all successors and interests will install and maintain vegetative screening of the accessory apartment, and 2, all items shall be removed from the town right-of-way prior to the issuance of any certificate for the accessory apartment.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, Kevin, you're up.
I move to approve the application of Charles Kulisa and Marybeth Costa Kulisa, tax map number 905-5-53. This application is for property located at 29 Poplar Street, Noyak. Applicant requests variances for a proposed one-story addition and basement Bilco door on a non-conforming lot that is well screened. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State law and town code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the town code. 1, for a proposed one-story addition, town code section 330-115C, continuance for a rear yard setback of 28.7 feet where 29.4 is existing, a minimum side yard setback of 9.5 feet where 10 feet is existing, and a total side yards of 23 feet where 23.5 is existing. And 2, for a basement bulkhead door commonly known as a Bilco door, town code section 330-83C yards, to allow a basement bulkhead door to be located 3.3 feet from the north side of a lot line where 5 feet is required, and relief from the screening requirement for the adjacent property to the north as shown on the proposed site plan prepared by Francesco D. Domenico, licensed surveyor, last surveyed October 1, 2025, and the floor plans and elevations prepared by Fred Smith, registered architect, dated July 30th, 2025. The grant of the 2025. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including the maintenance of all vegetative screening of the proposed Bilco door.
Second.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, I have an decision in the application of Andrew Fedor, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-5-3-21. On March 20, 2025, by decision number D025028, this board granted a sky plane encroachment in the amount of 2,335 cubic feet for a new one-family dwelling and of 250 cubic feet for a proposed two-story detached garage. By letter dated September 12, 2025, agent for the applicant, Matt Ivins, asked that the decision be modified because the pyramid calculation mistakenly did not take into account compliance with the limit of moderate wave action requirements on this lot, which is additionally burdened by wetlands and located in a flood zone. Therefore, decision number D025028 is hereby amended to grant relief from Town Code Section 330-84D Pyramid Law for a total skyplane encroachment of 3,597 cubic feet for a new one-family residence as shown on the floor plans, elevations, and pyramid diagram prepared by David H. Sherwood, R.A., last dated September 6, 2025. All other provisions and conditions of D025028 remain in full force and effect.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
No.
Ms. Burgess.
No.
Chair votes aye. Okay, Kevin, you're up.
Kevin, you're up. Last one.
Oh, I'm sorry, right, I'm up. Okay, I move to adopt the application of Anthony and Rosemary Adino, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-345-1-2.1. This application is for property located at 14 Port Elizabeth Drive, Hampton Bays. Applicants request variances for decks and in addition to a dwelling on an undersized lot burdened by wetlands. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State town law and town code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of the town code for a proposed wraparound side and rear addition and rear covered porch. Town Code Section 330-6, general regulations that references Town Code Section 330-11, residence district tables of dimensional regulations for a principal rear yard setback of 56.8 feet where 70 is required, and a principal minimum side yard setback of 12.7 feet where 20 feet is required, and a principal total side yard of 32.9 feet where 40 is required, and 2, for a proposed deck on the south side, relief from the Town Code Section 330-76D, placement of accessory building structures in all other districts, and 330-83C yards to allow the deck to be located within the required minimum and total side yards for principal buildings, as shown on the survey prepared by David H. Fox, last dated July 25th, 2025, and the floor plans prepared by John David Rose, last dated October 23rd, 2025. The grant of the foregoing relief is subject to other conditions and permits as has already acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for the final approval of the subject premises, including that the applicant and all successors maintain the landscaping, hedgerow, and row of trees on the premises as shown on the aforementioned survey.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Ms. Kane? Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Did you say aye? Aye. Mr. Redhand?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, do I have a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.